Welcome to 4Player Podcast.
Hello.
Hey guys.
Oh.
Hey, Crispy.
What's
Hey
happening?
Brad.
I'm Brad. I think Nolan's here too.
This just got hijacked.
What's up, bitches?
Hey guys, welcome to the show.
We've been playing video games.
We've been
We
playing
have
video
been
games,
playing
and you know
video
what?
games.
We're just gonna jump. We're just gonna start talking about
Fucking
Would
do
you
it.
like to hear about the first one now?
it. Yes, I would, Brad. Are you? I guess you're starting. What did you play this
What would
week,
you like
Brad?
to hear about? I played a couple
Trine, tell
of
us about
new
Trine.
games.
Trine.
3.
Trine 3. I've been
I'm
playing.
trying to tell you about it.
No, I'm trying to tell you about it.
Oh, okay.
I've been trying to play Trine 3.
You can't just do that.
I've been playing it with Malia co-op. And
I'll be honest. I didn't even know
Are you
there was a
guys
Trine
from the-
3.
Yeah, you know why? Because it launched in early access several months ago.
Wasn't-
And when you do that, you kill the release hype for your game.
Yeah, there's no
There's
more
no
hype.
reviews out for this goddamn thing. It just don't stop doing it. Stop doing it, indie developers. I know you need the money, but just maybe just go to the bank and beg for more money instead of doing that because you're killing the hype and no one cares. So, are you all familiar with Trine?
Yes.
Yeah, wasn't
Vaguely.
it a
I
side
didn't play much of it.
scroller kind of action?
It was a
RPG?
side-scrolling, like cooperative puzzle platformer kind of thing.
Puzzle platformer.
Physics-y puzzle platformer.
Who's next?
Here's the twist. The new one is in full 3D.
Whoa!
It is a Trine game in 3D, and it's as beautiful as ever.
Why
As
didn't they call it Trine 3D?
Oh.
It seems like obvious.
Missed
I think
opportunity.
a lot
right?
of people have used that reference before.
The
Well,
Nintendo route.
of course.
Yeah.
That might have actually been, or like Trine 64 or something
I
like
know.
that.
The thing is, it's so appropriate here because it's the first one in 3D.
Oh.
What did you do, Brad?
I'm hanging down
He's hanging by a
I was
rope.
about to say, it looks like you just fell to your
Yeah.
death.
So you have
Yeah.
the same three characters. You have the knight, the wizard, and the rogue, and their abilities are largely the same. One thing that has been kind of completely smoothed out of the series in its entirety are like kind of the RPG elements. In the first Trine, you gain experience, and there'd be like some light skill trees that you could augment your abilities. That stuff's gone, and it's kind of a bummer because I like when I see sequels of games, I like to see that stuff get like deeper,
Yeah, fleshed
and
out.
more fleshed out.
It sucks when a game has a system that may be slightly flawed, but still fun and good, and then you see the sequel to that game just completely
Well,
drop
instead
it.
of fixing it, they
Yeah.
just abandon it.
Yeah.
So this strikes me as odd. So the RPG elements are not deeper here. In fact, they're scrapped. And you're telling me this is the same three characters they've always used? It seems kind of like a missed opportunity to me. Like it seems like
Yes.
the game had the opportunity to change a lot more
But-
by maybe giving you different types of characters.
Sure. No, I absolutely agree. But there are like new abilities, and they have like improved, I think, a lot of the abilities. Maybe even streamlined them. Like before, remember the wizard actually would draw different squares, and depending on the size of it, it would be like heavier or lighter or whatever.
Yeah.
Now it's
Yeah.
just one cube that you
What?
summon, and you can move it around.
This sounds like this literally makes it just sound like they simplified everything in
They
a
were
bad
so
way.
worried about putting it in 3D.
Maybe.
They lost what was
Maybe.
special about it.
But see, turning Trine into 3D is no easy task, and I feel like in the process they've also kind of refined a lot of the elements and made them a little bit better to the point where I feel like all the characters kind of are maybe fun to play as in a way that they weren't necessarily before. They just seemed a little rough around the edges. Now you play as the knight. He has this stomp attack that when he stomps, like everything in the environment like kind of flies up. It's like super physicsy. It's beautiful and it's fun to do, and you can like solve puzzles that way and whatnot. And I think the biggest improvement is this rogue character who's she had a rope to, for example, just swing around.
Yeah.
And that was her thing. She can shoot arrows, she can swing around. But now, kind of like in Tomb Raider Legends, she can actually attach her rope to things, pull things, use like anchor points to kind of like twist her rope around to manipulate the environment and like, you know, move these blocks around and like pull switches. And it actually seems way more developed and fun to use than it ever did in the first two Trine games. So, you know, as opposed to maybe some slightly insubstantial upgrades in that skill tree in the first game, which wasn't super developed, they've just kind of taken what works and tried to improve upon it. And I will say, if you go to Trine because you like pretty looking games, this one is the prettiest one they did yet, and that the prettiness, what they're good at, translates to 3D extremely well. And I told Chris Davis to start this video at this point because I was like, I thought I was into it for a little while and this is good, but I do get stuck on fucking with these switches for a while. But
God damn it, Brad.
But so like what I'm doing is I'm using this kind of anchor point and like twisting the rope around, and I don't want to explain what I do here because I'm probably going to be here for a while. But it's cool. It's really fun, and I was just
I feel like there was a big butt coming.
Oh yeah, there is a big butt.
No. What I was saying earlier is I think the visual style translates really well. You know, in the first two games, like everything's really layered and the backgrounds look really pretty. But now you can kind of like swing into those backgrounds and lunge into those backgrounds, and it's a 3D game. And like I can't stress enough how nice, pleasant this game looks. I guess the butt would be that it's shorter than the other Trine games.
There it is.
The developer's getting a lot of heat for the game's length.
How short is the game to warrant them getting heat? Because I feel like there's a lot of short games out there.
No, there is, but when the first two Trine games are like 8 hours long and this one's like 3 to 4.
Oh wow.
It's like half the length of the previous game.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
But it's in 3D.
But twice the dimensions.
It is in 3D.
It's cut. They cut the
Not
the
quite
length in half,
twice.
but they.
Oh no! When you add a third dimension, that's twice as big as 2 dimensions, so it works out. I don't have time to explain it, but that's correct.
Okay.
Math.
But the thing is, what I've played has been a real pleasure because now, you know, I kind of don't mind playing all the different characters because I think all that stuff...
You know why I think you're okay with the length?
Why?
Because you know what's coming.
Because the motion of the ocean is good.
No, I was gonna. Oh,
Because I know it's coming. I see what you're saying. You're saying I kind of... You know, there's big games coming out. I don't mind that this is a little bit shorter.
you want a quick
How about a little root?
and dirty experience.
No, that's not true. I'm bummed that this is a shorter game, but I was really down on Trine 2 because it was just more Trine. It's Frozen Byte finally kind of really trying to evolve this series.
This is
Trine
really good.
It's really trying. Yeah, I know. I
Please
give up.
stop
I give
saying
up,
trying.
and I'm gonna run through the door here. It's them evolving the formula. You know what I mean? Like I feel like we talked a lot about the first Trine, but when Trine 2 came out, because it
It's
didn't
just more
evolve,
of Trine.
like
Yeah,
no one talked
it
about
wasn't
it.
a huge difference. So yeah, it wasn't a big
Just
story.
like go and
yeah.
run. Oh,
And I would love to see where it goes from here because they could probably do, maybe a much bigger, more in-depth game. Now that they've sort of established the framework for their first 3D game, maybe now they can start making new characters or new abilities or make a longer game, right?
Ooh, that was cool.
No, I'm telling you, like the physics and stuff in this game is really kind of
Picked
great.
up a boulder and threw it.
And
through
they're
a
still
brick wall.
underwater swimming.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
There's the reason, right there.
There's my shot.
And I gave Brad a great realization when he was recording this footage.
Yeah.
I was like,
pretty
it's like
funny.
you have like an oxygen meter.
Yeah.
And you can switch people. And I'm like, so can you stay underwater for like 3 times as long as
You
normal?
can.
And he's like, oh, you can.
It doesn't make any sense because theoretically they're down there with you, but I guess with the power of the Trine, they're not actually there.
Yeah.
But so here's the deal. I know it's short. I know it's half the length of the first 2 games, but there's still really fun physicsy puzzles. It's beautiful. It's fun to control. Like those first games felt really janky to play, and I feel like they're kind of ironing out some of that jank, and it's impressive because they're ironing out the jank at the same time, making an impressive 3D game, you know, but the problem is because of the link, the developer is receiving a lot of backlash.
Like-
There's a lot of negative reviews on
that's
Steam
really-
because they took this chance, and it's shorter because of it.
So is that just going to be a standard, is among
Well, is the co-
consumers, is to always compare
Is
the
the
length
cost
of?
the same?
Yeah, more or less.
Because I mean, like, it's really
maybe even
unfair.
a little,
Like,
I think it's like $22.
like look at a game like Brothers. I beat that in like one sitting, and
Brothers
that was
or Journey or Gone Home.
And I'm
No
pretty
one
sure I
complains
beat-
about those, but it's because those are like story driven, experience driven. While this is very gameplay driven, and most importantly, Journey, Gone Home, Brothers, they didn't have earlier games in the series that were twice as long.
sure.
Yeah.
I guess. But
So
like, not every
everyone's
game
throwing a
is,
titty fit.
But like, not every game you make in a series is going to be the same length as the one that came before it.
Well, I mean,
It's kind of an it's kind of an
typically
unfair
you're-
expectation.
Sure, but I don't think no matter the series, I think you're going to receive a lot of heat if that is the case.
Yeah.
You know, and so here's my concern. Frozen Byte says that they're worried about the future of this franchise now because of all this backlash that this game
It had
is
a
getting.
good run.
But this was the birth of something great. not just for Trine, but for Frozen Byte in general. You know,
Yeah.
like being indie and getting out of that, side-scrolling, mold that you see with a lot of indie games because hey, it's easier and cheaper, is a pretty great thing, and it's a bummer to see.
It's weird because like watching this footage, like it still looks like a 2D side-scrolling game for a while, but then you start like periodically you start to move forward and backwards into the dimension. Into the
So
depth of the screen.
it is a 3D game,
Crash
but
Bandicoot
it's almost like a more than 2.5D. It's like a 2.9D because it is 3 dimensions, but
It's
you
like
are
really close to 3.
a lot of the time you're locked on this 2D plane, and then they'll let you go into a 3D plane.
You know what it's like?
Super
It's
close.
like Super Mario 3D World.
Exactly.
Where it's a full 3D game,
But you're on like a path almost.
but it is dictated by like a history of being a pretty straightforward level based thing.
Cool.
Yeah, and like I'm gonna go even like see that back there. You see way off in the distance that big giant
Monster
thing there.
thing?
Yeah.
Like I'm
Tower.
gonna go back there and fight that thing in a second.
Nice.
And that's the kind of shit where you might see something cool like that in the background of like Trine 1 and 2, but you couldn't go there. Now you can. And like it's shocking that they pulled this off because this game looks just as beautiful as Trine 1 and 2, maybe more so, but now it's in 3D, and that is a big deal because this is still a relatively small indie developer. And I'm telling you, like, this was a great sign of things to come. And if people are really gonna throw a goddamn fit that this is,
I mean, it's disappointing because when you think about it,
Oh, thanks.
if this was the first Trine that ever came out and it was only 4 hours, people would be like
I think they would.
they'd be praising the hell out
It'd
of
be a
this.
cult fucking hit probably.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what is this? Where did it come from? Why is it so cool and physicsy and beautiful? But now it's like, yeah, it's short.
Yeah.
Like give these guys a break. And you know what? The thing is, the reality is, no one's talking about this game. I don't think it's going to sell, and I think this is probably maybe the end for this series, maybe even Frozen Byte, because that's the reality of game development these days. This doesn't look like a cheap game to make. I mean, a cheap
no,
game.
definitely
like
not.
absolutely not cheap.
Well, yeah. I mean, they could always try kickstarting the next game. I don't know. But then again, after a reception like this, if 30 has a bad reception because of its length, then
It's just-
what makes you think people are going to give them money for another
When
one?
Steam people are throwing a fit, and they throw a fit for like very specific and weird things, right?
Temper tantrums.
But see, if you combine that with the fact that the press is not covering it because they're all playing Metal Gear and Mario Maker right now, that's a really bad mix. Now people don't know about this game, and if they dig a little deeper, they're just going to see a little bunch of pissed off Steam reviews, and I think that's really bad for a game. I think that really hurt Toy Soldiers. That one that just came out.
I
think
think
it's going to hurt this game big time
I
too.
think in this scenario, the game shouldn't be getting so much shit. It should be, it's a good game. Downside is it's short. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't fault a good game for being short if it's still a good game. Yes, you can be upset because previous entries in the series were much longer and this one's a much shorter game, but it is a much higher quality game than the other two. So, I mean, that's one of the issues I have with sometimes when people get let down by a game in a series that they just want to completely poo-poo on it when it's not a bad game. It's a great game. Yes, it's just a little shorter. So that's what I'm saying. It's one of the scenarios where you're like, hey, it's good because of this, 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 and this. Downside is they got rid of the RPG elements and it's a little shorter.
How much is this game?
It's like 22.
I think it's $20.
That's a weird
22?
weird,
Yeah.
weird amount.
That's odd.
I don't know.
It's not about the size, folks. It's about the motion of the ocean.
It's not the length,
Exactly.
it's the girth.
Well, this has the length
I
nor
don't
girth.
know if the girth is there in this one either.
Oh, I thought girth was just general, like, positive gameplay.
I feel like if size was the length of a game, girth would be the depth of its
Well,
mechanics.
length is the length of a game.
I gotta say
Length is
that-
length.
I gotta say,
Shut up, Crispy.
maybe to wrap up, this is a bad time to release like anything.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's because the gaming apocalypse has officially started.
Yep, it has. Well, next Tuesday. Oh, a week from
but you know
today.
what?
Actually, no, on Thursday because isn't that when Tomb Raider Go comes out?
Yeah.
You know,
Lara Croft.
you know
Lara
what?
Croft Go, thank you.
There's-
You know what makes me want to play this game?
What's that?
The fact that you told me I can beat it in 4 hours.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Well, there you go. Go for it.
Maybe that'll
dog.
work in its advantage
like
because some people might be
that's like one sitting.
yeah, I could do that in one sitting.
Fucking just knock it
beat
out.
that game
You
before
shouldn't
your
be
butt's
sitting for
numb.
that long though, Nick.
Yeah.
Did you not see that video I posted the other
I
day?
didn't watch it because I
It's
didn't want to
literally
scare myself.
killing you. Dude, I literally stood up while I was watching.
Well, my work just got standing desks,
There you go.
so I'm
Your
pretty
butt's
excited.
gonna fall off.
I don't want my butt to fall off. Hey, can I talk about a game
What
I
game?
guess.
that I started playing last night? on the feed.
What
Was
did
it
you
dumb?
start playing last
No,
night?
dude, Until
What
Dawn.
is it?
How long did you play it?
I don't know what that is.
Last night I played it for about 2 hours or so, a little
It's
over
a missed
2 hours.
opportunity.
And then I played it for about 20,
You
25
should have
minutes
played
today.
it until dawn.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, except I had to
What a
work.
sucker!
I had to work today.
Yes, no.
You know, I'll be honest, Nolan. At least 3 or 4 other people made that joke last night.
Oh, really?
Yeah. People were like, "Is Nate gonna play Until Dawn?"
Ah,
He's playing it right
Get
now.
it? He's playing Until Dawn.
Oh, Chad is so humorous.
Oh man, it was
So what do you think?
dude. So
Wait.
What?
Let me preface this by saying I'm glad we are talking about this because Sony sure isn't.
that's true.
That is
Right?
true. This is, if y'all remember, I think I played this at PAX Prime last year.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it. It was actually in my top 5 of games of the show last year when I played it. And it hasn't really been getting a lot of buzz. And like Brad said, marketing has been pretty non-existent for this game.
Which, by the way, fucking crazy considering Sony doesn't have shit all else
for
this
exclusives.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, they've got Battlefront, Star Wars Battlefront.
Is that an exclusive?
I'm talking about.
No, I know, but they're marketing it like
Oh,
it's an
yeah.
exclusive.
Sorry, Nick. Continue.
Is anyone there?
So,
Hello?
guys, this game is really cool. So Until Dawn, for those who are unaware, is a lot of people have compared it to Heavy Rain. It's kind of like a point. It's this weird mashup of like a point and click adventure with decision making of like Heavy Rain and some straight up. But honestly, after playing this last night, I feel like this game has way more in common with Silent Hill Shattered Memories than it does with Heavy Rain.
Do you ever press X to Jason?
Not
Wait,
yet.
Silent Hill Shatter Memories.
Dude, yes.
Why?
There's-
I know they
there's
have the
the-
guy like asking you questions,
there's
but
a guy
it plays
ask-
like Heavy Rain, right?
It plays a little bit like it plays like Heavy Rain in that when you make decisions. I think they took inspiration from how you make decisions on the fly from Heavy Rain because you
Yeah.
literally hold the stick in one direction to make it this choice or hold it in the other direction to make this choice. But when you're actually playing the game, you're moving around the environment with one stick and using the other stick to move like a flashlight or a light source around, and like objects that you find in the environment are only visible when you shine your light on them. Just walk into an environment and see all the shinies. You have to explore
search
with the
for them.
flashlight. You have to search for them. But the game is set up. It's supposed to. This is very
So
much.
it's kind of like Resident Evil. What is
Revelations
it?
2?
Revelations 2.
Yeah.
You gotta
Let's go ahead and
point
throw a
the
little of that in there too.
you gotta point the flashlight.
This
at
game
it.
is straight up like a hodgepodge of like a whole bunch of other games.
And it's got that Mr. Robot guy in it.
Yeah, that's
Dude,
who that guy
all
is.
of these actors are like, well, not all of them,
Who's
but
her?
a lot of them are very prominent actors that you'll recognize.
Who's
Recognize their
she?
faces. Hayden Panettiere is the main character. I didn't even realize she was in this game until I what,
To
they have like a-
win.
I mean, I always thought the character
That was
looked like
part
her.
of like the initial announcement.
But like they, like
Wasn't
you said,
that-
they haven't been marketing it. Like any other publisher would be like, "We're doing Until Dawn, starring Hayden Panettiere."
I don't think people. I think people are down on Hayden Panettiere.
Sure,
Yeah,
but
no,
honestly,
they
you know what's
definitely
funny?
are.
She's one of the best done characters in the.
I'm
on the
pretty
game
sure
so
the
far.
star of Mr. Robot is the star of Until Dawn.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't remember his name.
Is that a good show?
Yeah.
I've only seen
Okay.
a couple episodes.
My older brother was like telling me it's like one of the best shows of like recent memory.
Which one? Which character are you talking about? The guy
That
on the
guy
left?
on the left, yeah.
Okay, that guy is fucking creepy.
So
Like,
He is super creepy on Mr. Robot.
he's super
And
creepy
he's
here
the
too.
main dude.
the
So
main creep.
what? You have a question, Crispy?
what's going on here?
So okay,
They're having
so
a
this game is set up.
Suan?
Let me give you the quick and dirty because we are going to be playing this tonight after the
Yeah.
feed. All of us are going to.
I'm kind of excited.
Get dirty.
So the way this game is, the story is these 8 kids are out at the Mr. Robot's parents' cabin out in the mountains, and 2 of their friend or his 2 sisters wander off at night one night, and they end up getting lost and things happen, and you know they are assumed dead, and then a year later, this is classic like slasher film logic, like a year later these teenagers say, in their honor, we're going to gather back in that place together to celebrate their life and like honor them. So they all get back together on the year anniversary of their death, or
Of
you know,
his 2 sisters
of his
died?
2 sisters. Yes.
Both of his sisters died?
Hannah,
Well, that's a decision you can
Hey,
make.
the dude from
Oh.
the guy from
I
Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is in this.
What, Coulson? Agent
No,
Coulson?
no, Brent Dalton. He plays Michael.
Who the fuck
Oh
is
yeah,
that?
Michael. Okay.
Who the fuck watches that show?
What superhero
You
is
haven't
that?
seen that show? it gets really fucking good.
Really?
I'm just gonna tell all of y'all here right
Yeah,
now. I watched season 1 and I hated the shit out
I heard
of
it gets good with season 2.
At the end of season 1 and then into season 2, it becomes a fantastic fucking show.
That's what I've heard.
I don't believe
Anyway,
you.
Anyways.
until dawn.
So
Yes, at his cabin.
they come back together stupidly to celebrate the life and death of their friends, and they're all. This is straight up. And I'm actually really surprised. There's a lot of people that I've been seeing talking about this in like forums and on Twitter and everything, or make this assumption that like this is trying to be like a survival horror game or just a horror game or whatever. And a lot of people are just kind of missing the point that this is a straight up like love letter to like all of those classic like slasher films where it's just a bunch of teenagers doing really stupid shit,
making
being
really
stalked
dumb
by murders,
decisions.
a
Yeah,
lot of jump scares.
Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah, this does feel like Cabin in the Woods to a degree because it is very much, you know, it kind of brings all of those tropes, all of those cliches together, and it's not trying to be like a really super effective like horror game, like something like Silent Hill or Fatal Frame or whatever.
yeah.
There are a lot of jump scares in this game, and they got me really good a lot of times. In fact, I would highly recommend playing with a headset if you can, because Jesus Christ. But you switch between characters, so like the story just kind of plays out in front of you, and you know periodically you'll take control of a character, and as you can see, I'm moving around there, and I'm actually using the stick to like move the flashlight around and look through the environment. But then things will happen. You have to make decisions on the fly. There are quick time events when like higher action things are happening. You have to make split-second decisions to see. 'Cause, you know, the whole game is built around the idea of like your decisions will basically dictate who lives and who dies, and when and why.
Yeah.
And
So could you theoretically get out of this game without anyone
that's
dying?
what when this game was first being talked about. That's the impression that I got. I don't think so.
Yeah.
No,
Because when
that-
I played at E3, I made all the right decisions, and the dude ended up dead.
I have a
I
feeling.
specifically remember hearing the pitch that you could play the game and none of them would die.
People are gonna die in this. I think it's
No, I
part
know.
of the
It
narrative.
would be a terrible slasher story if nobody died.
Yeah.
The appeal is definitely how are all these people going to die? And the thing is, I've already kind of pinpointed, and I could be totally wrong. I've only played about 2.5 hours so far, but like I've already kind of pinpointed a character that I feel like
This one's
is
going to
be the one that gets out alive just
Oh, okay.
barely, no matter what you do.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I don't know. I'd rather not find out until I play the game, obviously, but we'll see. But what's really interesting is that I was going into this really unsure whether to expect like decisions to mean anything. Because a lot of games tout things like this where it's like make split-second decisions and drastically change the game. But it's all done behind the scenes and it's all kind of like theoretical.
Yeah.
This game legitimately points out every decision you make and keeps track of it, and you can start to see the ripples.
That's interesting. I kind of like that.
Like in Mass Effect 2 or something, where there was all these these obscure criteria where it's like, well, if you happen to do this before you go into the final relay, then this guy won't die. But you didn't know that playing through the game.
So yeah, exactly.
At the time.
So like this game, like it starts off kind of giving this pitch. It uses the analogy of the butterfly effect a lot,
Yeah.
like pretty blatantly. But like when you make any kind of decision that will affect your story, there is a thing in your menu. You go to it and it shows like a bunch of butterflies on the screen, and it will show a decision, and it'll show
Landing on a wall.
and it will literally tell you like you chose to do this. And like when you do something that affects the story, like a little sound effect plays, and you know it's happened.
Yeah.
But you can kind of see. So like here's an example. Early on in the game, there is there's a squirrel.
Mm-hmm.
She walks up to the squirrel, and you have a decision you can make with the squirrel, whatever. And if you scare the squirrel or whatever, it tells you like it just to kind of give you this is actually I think the tutorial section of how this works. But it basically says you chose to, you know, be nice to nature or whatever. And it says,
If you give the squirrel a nut in the beginning of the game, he comes back with all of his squirrel buddies at the end and
you're
kills
not
the
wrong.
killer.
No, you're not wrong, because I accidentally, not realizing what I was doing, accidentally ended up killing a bird.
No!
And it said,
Murderer.
and
Bird murderer.
after that point, I started getting jump scares from
Of
like I got
birds?
scared by like there's like 3 or 4 different animals, and it says like you killed the bird in an
Pissed off
accident, and it says
nature.
nature is out of balance. And all of a sudden, like I was getting jump scares from like animals jumping out of
Nature's
things
gone
and scaring.
crazy.
Dude,
Nature
it's-
remembers.
It's kind of dumb,
Nature will
But,
nature will remember that.
but it literally is like that. And I just remember being like, holy shit. And then as it kept happening, I was like, is this all because I killed that fucking bird? But like, of course, there are bigger decisions you're gonna make that don't have to do with whether you kill an animal or not. But like, you're making decisions having to do with these characters and their relationships. And
here's what I'm worried about.
Okay.
If I fuck up like a quick time event like early on in some dude's chapter and he eats a hook through the face or something,
that can happen.
Is my game just going to be a lot shorter than yours?
I don't think so.
That would be well.
The thing is, I think it has the potential to be shorter. I don't think it will be dramatically shorter because the pacing of the game is really methodical. It's not like every 2 seconds someone is dying. There are you can tell. Like I've played 2.5 hours and I haven't even had like a real encounter with like the murderer or whatever.
But I heard that you really can die from like fucked up quick time event presses like real easily.
I'll tell you what.
There are sections in the game where you have to hold the controller perfectly still, and it's watching the light on the controller, and if you shake it too much. And like in a stealth,
those would be moments where you're like hiding in a closet, and
die.
if you move it, you'll make a noise, and the killer will find you.
I read a
like
review where the reviewer said, and he was kind of like, this is a little bit of a downside that some of the ways you could die seem a little arbitrary, but like it was like 2 different sequences where he was supposed to hold still and he fucked it up. 2 characters died.
Just like
in his playthrough.
Is it like you have to hold it still and the controller's like vibrating violently or something?
You have to hold it up.
You just have to
still.
hold it, and it's very sensitive. Like,
Can you set it down and just like?
Yeah, you can.
No, you might be after holding a button though.
No, you don't. You don't. I've already done 2 of
Well,
those
then
sequences.
set it the fuck down.
Like the squirrel that I mentioned was one of those. It's where they teach you how to use that thing. So I was literally sitting here.
So if you don't
and
hold perfectly still, you like squash the squirrel.
Well, I didn't realize how sensitive it was. I didn't realize how sensitive it was. Like she's trying to like, come here, squirrel, come here, and it's like going for like the nuts in her hand or whatever. And I like just barely like tapped the controller and went like it just barely moved, and the squirrel was like darted away, and she was.
And for that nature, like hated
no. It gave you another chance.
Oh,
it came
it was
back.
a bird. It was a bird.
That was literally just giving you an explanation of. I don't know. What I'm trying to get at here is like the decisions you're making feel
immediately.
The decisions you're making here feel impactful.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are already like a ton of points I can tell where like my story veered off in a different direction. Like even different characters will even break off from the group and go in together like with different characters depending on dialogue choices you make and and you know things like that.
So after the podcast, we're gonna play, and I'm gonna choose all the opposite, or like maybe Nolan can play because I'm gonna start this from the beginning. Well, whoever wants to play.
I'll do it. I have faith in myself.
But I want Nick to tell us what he chose when it's like a big binary thing, and we'll choose the opposite.
Okay.
So we can see how much it deviates, if it deviates.
The thing
much,
is, it gives you. There are so many moments where you get to make decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's so many. Like every little thing you do makes decisions.
Good.
And it's kind of sprinkled sporadically throughout where you're walking around and you're exploring.
Stomp on the squirrel.
That was really cool. Also, the one thing that I didn't expect at all, I was talking about with Shattered Memories, in addition to the flashlight, like there is it'll period like between chapters. It's broken up like kind of like Alan Wake was, where you play a chapter and it's like an episode of a TV show, and then it does previously on Until Dawn or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But like between those chapters, you're sitting. It like goes to a different, pulls out, and you're in like a room with like a psychiatrist who's played by a really prominent actor whose name I can't recall. He's the Russian guy.
Yeah, something Peter
Griffin.
No. The guy from Armageddon.
Yeah, Peter something with an S.
The Russian guy from Armageddon?
The Russian guy?
Yeah. Oh my god.
That guy.
He's still kicking? Is he?
Yeah, dude, and he's good.
Wait, the Russian guy from Armageddon. Now I need to see
the
a
space
picture.
station. But
is he in...
He's also the bad guy in Bad Boys 2, I think. No, not
Peter Stormare.
Oh, Peter Stormare. Is he in Fargo?
Yes, I think so. He's great. He's great. Oh yeah, he's Lucifer in Constantine. That's true too. He's great. But he'll be interviewing you and he's asking you questions about. He's basically giving you like psychiatry tests where he's asking you like, which of these 2 things scares you more, and like every time you go back, you know, he'll ask you more, I haven't seen how this kind of plays into the actual narrative yet.
That was going to be my question. Is the questions he's asking you, how does that affect the game?
I don't know, but they're pretty detailed questions, so I have a feeling it's going to dramatically affect.
Like, he's like, are you scared more of snakes or spiders? And if you choose spiders in the next episode, like spiders are going to attack you.
Did you watch my video? Because there is a choice between a snake or a spider.
Really?
What?
Yeah. And I chose spiders because fuck spiders. And the next time I came around and I was in his office.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I came around and the next time I was in his office.
I think it was in the clip.
I didn't watch the clip.
The next time I was in his office and he was asking me questions, I was like, what is going on? Because on the desk in front of me was a jar with a spider on it. Like, he was just like, I'm going to go ahead and put this right here while I talk to you.
What the fuck?
I was just like,
What
what
a
the
dick.
fuck?
Wait, you pick spiders over snakes?
Dude, I fucking hate spiders.
Nick's
my
got that arachnophobia.
God.
That
Spiders
movie
are
with Jeff
creepier
Daniels.
in games, though. Snakes, like,
No,
whatever.
snakes are always creepier. Always.
No.
Always,
So-
always.
Only in real life.
Well, there we go. Pick snakes tonight.
Fuck you.
The point
Are
is...
they? Oh wait, are they miniature spiders? Are they giant spiders, or were they
well,
just
the
like?
one in the thing was like a giant tarantula.
You know what is nice about spiders? At least they have fucking legs.
8 of them?
Yeah, whatever. Who cares? More legs is better than no legs.
I think that's where we're gonna
except for
That's where we're
centipedes.
gonna have to
That's-
differ. But let's be
many
clear
legs.
here. I'm not really scared of snakes. Well, actually, I'm not really scared of snakes.
No, I want to see you
Not
hang out in
even
a room with
rattlesnakes?
the snake, and you tell me how you feel.
Well, I'll probably react better than if I was hanging out with a bunch of spiders.
Wait, I'm talking one spider versus one snake in a room.
Boo box, man.
That's not fair.
The boo box.
Fucking boo box, this guy.
Exactly.
Yeah, I used to own a snake.
How about this? If you put a snake in a box and ask, like in a closed sealed box, and ask me to hold that box, I'll hold the box. If you put a spider in a box and ask me to hold that box with a spider in it, I won't go near it.
You're crazy.
I hate spiders.
Yeah, you are crazy.
Like a tarantula.
I hate all spiders.
Dude,
my fear of spiders goes so deep. I hate daddy long legs.
Well, those technically
They're
aren't spiders.
creepy.
I know.
But
They're
they
much,
love you.
in my opinion, a daddy longleg is much creepier than a spider.
Especially because
they hang out in groups of like
hordes.
1,000.
Can we stop talking about spiders?
I used to have a ball python,
Dude, camel spiders.
and he was pretty cool.
Dude, this is really weird. I had a conversation at work today about camel spiders.
Yeah, probably.
It's very strange.
What the fuck's a camel spider?
It's just like a giant spider that lives in the desert.
And eats camels?
giant spider.
I think so. I think that's why it's called a camel
Let
spider.
me
'cause
ask
it
you
kills
right
camels.
now: if there was a tarantula under this couch, or like a wild snake under this couch, which would you be more comfortable with? Just carrying on this podcast.
Probably the snake.
Dude,
Are you fucking kidding me?
That's
Dude,
crazy.
Snake is a goddamn predator. That spider ain't gonna do shit
Well,
to you.
here's the difference.
you could step on the spider and kill it.
I would feel more comfortable keeping my feet up on the couch like
you could
this
throw a
with
phone
a
book
snake
at it.
underneath it than if I with the spider. I'm just saying.
Okay, no, I'm
just
terrible.
saying.
feet on.
Now
the
I feel like there's snakes everywhere. Thanks, guys.
Snakes and
Fucking-
spiders.
I fucking
Awesome.
hate spiders. Anyways, Until Dawn is really, really cool. I'm very excited to keep playing it. I'd like to keep playing it on the feed, but I probably won't be able to do that until I get back from PAX at this point.
Yeah.
Because we're leaving for PAX soon. But it is very cool.
Dude, there are snakes that can eat people whole.
That's true.
I saw a picture of it the other day. It was crazy.
That picture, I think I know what picture you're talking about. I think that was doctored.
Was it the one of the Indian drunk guy who fell asleep in
Yeah.
the street in a boa constrictor and just ate him?
Yeah. I don't think that, I think that
That's
was
probably not real.
pretty
But
sure-
come on.
He felt like
Pretty
a
sure
homeless
that was
guy that
Photoshop.
fell asleep, and he was like, "Oh, a sleeping bag," and
I
he just
seen-
pulled the snake up.
And the snake's like, I'm okay with this.
The thing is, my fear of spider, my fear of any of these animals is not based on whether or not they can eat me or not. It's literally about what they look like,
Did you
what they
see
feel
Anaconda
like,
with
how they
John
move.
Voight?
I'd probably be more comfortable with a spider than a giant cockroach.
Ugh, God.
This is a very uncomfortable show. Anyways, we'll play Until Dawn after the show, so stick around.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next one. Crispy,
I don't have anything.
you don't have anything. You've been watching too much anime.
No, I haven't.
No, tell us about what
Busted.
anime
No,
you've
I've been
been
talking
watching.
about a lot of anime.
Gundam?
No. Yeah, I started watching.
This is why we didn't want you
More
to be
like
on that
Gundam.
podcast.
I
Ghost.
started watching Gundam Build Fighters, so fucking sue me, okay? It's great. I love it, and I love Gundam, okay? I'm sorry.
You know
I'm
what-
sorry. I'm sorry.
You should track down the Little Battlers experience or whatever it's called on 3DS.
I saw it. I was looking at that, and it kind of looks dumb.
Well,
it
it's
kind of
Level
reminded
5.
me. It kind of reminded me of Custom Robo
Yeah, kinda
back
Custom
in the day.
Custom Robo.
That was a fun game.
I know it
liked
was. So
Custom
why
Robo.
are you think this is not maybe
I don't know.
fun?
They just look stupid. If the robots looked cooler, I would be way into it. But they look dumb, so I'm not.
Speaking of dumb, Nolan's been playing Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker.
Which is not.
I'm just
dumb.
kidding.
Yeah, so
kidding. Nope,
Phantom
don't kill
Pain
me.
comes out in 1 week.
Fuck me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peace Walker is the direct prequel to Phantom Pain.
Did I mention that I finished The Witcher 3?
Really?
Really?
Fuck no! I
I was
didn't.
like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Fuck you!
When did that happen?
No.
No way.
What? All right, so Peace Walker. So I jumped into this game, and I actually finished. Credits rolled. We'll say that. Credits have rolled.
Okay.
Were you playing on the HD collection?
Yes. Brad lent me his, so this is on the 360. I did a little bit co-op. I think J52 or somebody had a 48-hour pass that they weren't going to use, and they gave it to me, and so I played with a few community members.
Like Nier.
Yep. And that made the game go much quicker. I wasn't playing it a whole lot for the story for the game more the story, because I have played it all. And I played on the PSP when it came out, but I got stuck on this one mission because literally Kaz comes on the codec and he's like, "Hey, Snake, kill everyone." And there's all these dudes with like fucking assault rifles, and on the PSP, it's really hard to control because you move with the left analog stick and with the right. There's no right analog stick. Yeah. You aim your gun with the fucking buttons, like the face buttons, and it's horrible. And I just got so frustrated with it that I put it down. It turns out I was on like the second to last mission. Like I had gone like through almost the entire game.
That's brutal.
It is now because I beat it the other day. I found out that I was at the very end. But also playing it on the 360 made it so much easier having two analog sticks. Oh my God. But typical Metal Gear fashion. So like, this takes place right after Metal Gear Solid 3 if you don't include portable ops. And some people don't include portable ops as canon. It technically is canon, I guess, to the story, but the game's kind of poopy. It goes 3 portable ops and then Peace Walker. And so the concept of Peace Walker is your Snake, Big Boss, and Kaz have kind of created this force, the Militaire Sans Frontières, whatever, like Soldiers Without Borders is what it is, and you're essentially soldiers for hire.
They're a private military company.
Yeah, soldiers for hire. You'll help out anyone who needs help doing whatever, and the guy approaches you and he's like, "Oh, I need help because crazy people are doing crazy shit. They're making Metal Gear, whatever.
Metal Gear?
Yeah, Peace Walker." And so you're kind of on this mission to stop this from going on. This Dr. Strangelove has created an AI using the boss as the structure for the AI. So the artificial intelligence thinks like the boss, your mentor. Mm-hmm. And so Snake freaks out when he finds out about this because he thinks is it actually the boss, and all this stuff. I also purposely didn't Fulton anybody in this footage for you, Nick.
No, I actually just saw you Fulton someone.
Oh, really?
Ago.
I did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I didn't say anything because I was bigger than that. I decided to put that behind me.
Okay.
Oh, look, there we go. Another one. That's 2.
I just want to clear up some confusion. Now that we have gameplay footage on a screen that we can watch, that's usually what we're focusing on as we're listening to the other person talking. Mm-hmm. But they don't know that. So everyone thinks that when
you're just tuning out.
Yeah, we're tuning out. But we're not actually tuning out. We're just watching as we're listening.
We're watching gameplay footage.
And reading chat.
Yeah. So one of the big things...
Here, I'll take a picture from this angle.
One of the big things in Peace Walker is there's a lot of battles with, like, tanks.
Yeah.
Like, that's a big focus compared
They're all
to...
tanks,
well, yeah,
much, right?
well, for the most part. This isn't right here. This is a helicopter battle.
Right.
But compared to other Metal Gear games, there's a lot of battles with tanks.
Fuck this battle, by the way.
Yeah.
What do they think they are? Arkham Knight?
And so, being a Metal Gear game, I always try and do it like no kill stealth. I mean, that's kind of always just Metal Gear mentality. And so you can technically defeat all of these vehicles without blowing them up. It's much more difficult. And what I have to do in this battle is any battle with a vehicle, you have to knock out all of the guards and Fulton them to get them off the battlefield. And then it will spawn more guards. And I think that one has a total of like 20 guards that you have to keep taking out. And then eventually the person piloting the vehicle will pop out and you have to shoot them. But so after the battles the stages are very broken up. They're very short. They're pretty quick, usually less than like 10 minutes. And after every stage, battle, whatever it is, you end up going back to Mother Base. So similar to how it's going to be in Phantom Pain, you got Mother Base is a big deal. It starts out very small, and you build it up bigger and bigger and bigger.
Except it's a menu in this game.
Yeah, so in this game, it's completely just a menu. As Phantom Pain, it's going to be a physical place.
A big physical place.
Yeah, a very big physical place. So you have your, R&D department. It's very similar to how it's going to be in Phantom Pain. Your combat unit, R&D, like a medical, like a intel gathering, and each of them, depending on what level they are, they give you more stuff. So to increase the level of your departments, you have to recruit soldiers. The easiest way is to Fulton people, either prisoners of war or enemy combatants. And so if you Fulton an enemy, they'll most of the time join you. Sometimes you have to send them to the brig because they're a little rowdy, but eventually they come to your side. And prisoners of war are generally a lot more important because their stats are always better than just like a random soldier. And you can see, like, when I'm sorting through these people, you can see all those red bars on the right. That's what level they are. And right here, what I'm doing is I'm full. And so I'm having to kind of pick and choose who I want to keep. And essentially, I'm finding all the very low-level people and kicking them out. I'm like, I have no more room for you.
Get out of here.
I gotta be honest. I don't even remember what... like some people can be good at cooking. I don't even remember like what that determines.
So the what's a mess hall? Yeah. What that's for is for essentially like food items, like health recovery items, like rations,
for
calorie mates.
Calorie mate. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the upgrade system, and those are all different weapons. I have upgrades available to me right now. I haven't spent the money on them to have them developed yet. But to unlock upgrades or even items themselves, you have to have your different departments at different levels, and it'll show you like the Fulton. To upgrade it, you need to have your R&D department at least level 43 and your intel department at least level this. And so that's why. So there is a limited number of people you can have, and you have to start kicking out the lower level guys because they're almost useless.
Yeah.
And this is essentially
the thing from Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, kind of like that. So the soldiers you recruit, you can send them off on missions. Yeah. And they will gain experience and become better, both like health and just physically.
Like Assassin's Creed, it was strangely addicting.
No, it's like the app, the Assassin's Creed mobile game for
kind of
Assassin's Creed 4.
So the soldiers, literally the ones that you get out of battle or recruit, you can go to like a recruitment, and like I think I used to work on a PSP. Is depending on like the Wi-Fi you want, it would like recruit people or something. I don't know, but this is just you send out a ping, and if it's been a while since you've recruited people or you have a decent amount of heroism points, you can recruit people, and you can send them out on missions, and they'll gain like items. Like physical items like cardboard boxes and shit, and also experience, because all of these guys, you can take them into like battle. Like instead of playing as Snake, you can play as them.
Yeah.
But their stats are dependent on their level, and so you like sending them out into combat will actually they'll level up and they'll have more health and more psyche and stuff like that. I also went into the Metal Gear Zeke menu there because halfway through this game you can actually start developing your own Metal Gear that you can send out into those combat like scenarios and stuff like that. But to get it, you have to defeat the like other Metal Gear. This is me recruiting a guy.
Did you go on the day with Boz?
Yeah, I went on the day with Boz.
Man, should I play this game?
It's pretty good. I mean, it's not.
I actually started this a long time ago on the PSP. Never finished it.
I mean, I would definitely say don't play it on the PSP. Play it on the. You have the HD collection, don't you?
I do.
Yeah, play it on that.
I gotta be honest with you though, like, sure, it has its own story, and maybe like some people right now are actually watching Peace Walker the movie in preparation for 5, just because they never played through it. But in terms of gameplay, I feel like there's nothing that this game's doing that like Metal Gear Solid 5 is not gonna do way better.
That's what I want to talk about. So yeah, this is essentially like Metal Gear Solid 5 portable. It's like a dumbed down version.
Which is weird because it came out years ago.
Yeah, it's like a dumbed down version of what Metal Gear Solid 5 is going to be. Like pretty much every element you're doing in this, you're going to do in the Phantom Pain.
Yeah.
This is just kind of like a shorter version. So I mean, I think the main story, it took me maybe like 20 hours to get through. And then credits roll, but you can keep playing because there's all these side ops. There's a lot of different things you can do, and you can keep doing those. And then eventually, like a guy that you would imprison at the end of the game escapes, and so you have to go and like look for him. And the story actually unfolds more. But to get through that, you have to do a lot of like similar to Ground Zeroes. There's only one map.
Yeah.
Similar to that, this has very few maps. There's only a set number, but it'll keep having you go back to those same maps with different objectives. Soldiers in different places, doing different things. Because, I mean, it was a PSP game.
Very much like what happened with the Valkyria Chronicles games on mobiles, where they took a big battlefield and they chop it up into these little areas that they reuse over and over.
Yeah. Exactly. What was I talking about? I lost my train of
Metal
thought.
Gear, I believe.
Yeah, I know. But I was going somewhere with the. Oh yeah, so credits roll at about 20 hours. You defeat Peace Walker, which is like the Metal Gear thing in this game. But then there's like another 30 hours, maybe not that much.
If it's really that long, I'm glad I didn't.
Maybe not that. I might be like exaggerating. It's essentially it revolves around you have to go into these levels and you have to Fulton certain people. Yeah. Certain people are important, and if you don't Fulton them, you won't progress.
Yeah.
And once again, you can't like go in and Fulton everybody.
It was like 8 hours.
Maybe it might be 8 hours. I don't know, something like that. You do have a limited number of Fultons
in this game. Unlimited in 5, Nick. Don't worry.
I don't think you're going to have unlimited in 5.
God, you better not.
But yeah, so you have to... see, this is a mission where I couldn't take Snake. I had to take like a different guy, so I choose a different guy out of the... Because I think this one's one of the ones where it's like, oh, you have to recover... sometimes you have to like, oh, help Snake recover his gear.
Yeah.
And shit like that. But I don't remember where I was going. Oh, I think this is an interesting mission, where that guy was my objective.
What the guy you're playing? Wait, what?
There's like I have to rescue a guy, and so a lot of these are kind of time based. Like you want to get like some other.
So these are kind of like challenge maps.
Yeah, they're kind of like challenge maps, and any game like in Ground Zeroes, you get a rating at the end of the game, at the end of the level, and it's based on how quickly you do it, how many alarms you set off, stuff like that. I think I might Fulton a guy or two in this one.
Oh, it looks like you do.
Yeah, probably.
Nolan. What blows my mind?
What?
So Joel.
Yeah.
Buddy Joel.
Yeah.
He's playing. He's gonna pick up Metal Gear Solid 5 next week. And the last Metal Gear Solid game that he played was the first one.
He's probably going to be very confused.
Back in like '98.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Hey, look, Nick, in this game you can Fulton yourself.
Oh my god.
That's awesome.
Well, that's kind of cool.
I like how they. It's just like a little balloon that magically makes you fly away. They don't show like the other part of it.
The helicopter coming in and getting you. You hear the sound.
Aircraft.
It was
you
a
hear the
PSP
sound of the
game,
helicopter.
Crispy.
These mother... Fucking MGS is giving me so much shit for not doing all like the post-game grindy shit. Just because, I wasn't loving it. And my fucking 360 was falling apart, and I was just like, fuck it, and I YouTubed the ending. Even though I did, play through the whole story up to the credits, did all the extra ops, side ops, or whatever they're called.
The thing, you might not have done all of. There's a shit ton of side ops. There is a lot. They go, like
I'm pretty sure I remember I did all the extra,
like
ops.
100.
I did a lot. I played a lot of Peace Walker.
So you have to like unlock them by certain requirements.
There was some like I think I did them all. Okay. I mean, were there like different types?
Yeah. Types of like side ops or extra ops or
extra
ops.
ops.
I mean, there's certain ones that are like, oh, Fulton people. There's ones that rescue this guy.
There are
gather
128
intel.
missions total.
Yeah, 126, 128. Yeah. There's a lot of missions.
I did the ones that seemed significant. If there was stuff like just like
shooting challenges and stuff.
I
like
might
that.
not have done all those. But yeah. Anyways,
Ed just said he hasn't played a single Metal Gear Solid game.
Well, he has time now. And someone mentioned like doing Metal Gear marathons, and I did do one like 3 years ago.
You did.
I played through all 4 games leading up to. I think that was when.
4 came out?
Not 4. What's the game with Rising?
Rising, yeah,
Resistance, or whatever.
That was like
Revenge.
That was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, I played through all of them. I wasn't going to do it for this just because fuck this year. I would not have time to play.
There's not enough time. There's not enough hours in the year.
50 hours of Metal Gear.
See, how'd you Fulton that dude? He went through a roof?
No, they just went around the roof.
Bullshit. I call bullshit.
But no, this just gets me really excited for 5 because it's like I said, it's 5 light, 5 go is what it is.
I'm getting pretty excited. I think we all are. We're gonna be playing
the
that a lot next
the
week.
story's really good. The one thing I have an issue with it, especially because you didn't.
Just removing the little computer
Oh
panel.
my god. So yeah, that was one thing I didn't. You find a lot of different like AI controlled like mechs in this game. They're all butterfly based, There's like the
What?
pupa and then the cocoon and then like they're
They
all
look like butterflies?
no, like their names because like they have this whole thing with like butterflies and kind of like the artificial intelligence. And this whole thing is essentially what Peace Walker is it's a deterrent system. And it's supposed to be like this is during the 70s, so like nuclear like retaliation and stuff like that, mutual destruction. And that's one of the things I don't want to get too much into it.
Please don't.
Yeah, but anyway, so after every fight with one of these AI controlled bots, you have to go into its artificial intelligence pod and pull out different types of artificial intelligence, and these are what you use to build up your Metal Gear. And so you have to collect a certain number of them. But no, one of the things is at the end of the game, when the first set of credits roll, I don't even know if there's a second set because I haven't gotten that far yet, the story kind of stops in this one spot. But then what happens after that really changes the story of the characters. Like
dramatically?
Some of the stuff with Paz changes a lot. Like a lot. And
Well, that's
I guess
confusing.
not knowing that and then going into Ground Zeroes doesn't affect it too much because but I don't want to like spoil anything.
Yeah.
Who cares? Paz took a J-bomb.
Oh my god.
Glad that didn't get spoiled for me.
I knew that was gonna come up again.
Not
Yeah.
sorry. I'm not sorry. Fuck you guys. I don't even fucking care. I'd go
right.
back in time and do it again if I could.
I know you would.
I've had these vivid memories of us sitting outside Double Dave's Pizza.
I
eating
was so
pizza.
confused. I had no idea what
And
was going
Crispy's
on.
like, have y'all played Ground Zero? So
I
I was like, I
didn't
played a
even know
little
that
bit, but I
character was
didn't
a
beat it
character.
yet, so I'm not sure. And he's like, well, you know that girl character? And I'm like, is that Paz? He's like, yeah, that one. Like at the end,
Don't say
like,
it. Don't say it out loud.
Don't say it.
Don't say it, man. Just still.
I mean, 2 years.
If I'd known you were gonna hold such a fucking grudge over that, I would have shouted it as loud as I could in your face as soon as I saw you.
I remember I spoiled Snape kills Dumbledore for David's brother like years after the meme was already dead.
Really?
And he had just started reading the books and he got super mad at me.
How
I'm
do
like,
you
how
avo-
did you not know that was a meme?
How do you even avoid that?
Yeah.
That just seems like one of those things you can't really avoid. But I guess it's possible. Anyways, is there anything else impressions wise we want to talk about?
One quick game.
Oh yeah.
A mobile game based off a beloved game.
I have one more game too.
yes.
Well, we can do it after this.
Square Enix recently released Triple Triad.
That's that Final Fantasy card game.
Yes, it is the card game from Final Fantasy VIII, one of the most loved mini games of all time.
Now. Okay, never mind.
What?
Does it look different?
Well, you're gonna see if Chris Davis will start the
it looks-
footage.
Because I
It
was
looks like
watching-
Triple Triad.
It looks like Triple Triad. It looks like the game from fucking Final Fantasy. Okay, never mind.
No, it looks like the game from Final Fantasy
You
VIII.
do know what Triple
'Cause it-
Triad
Yeah,
is?
yes, trust me. I was addicted to Final Fantasy VIII Triple Triad.
Maybe you were addicted to Final Fantasy IX's lame
but-
ass.
no, I was not. But I was. See that. Man, maybe it's just been that long.
This looks like Triple
That
Triad
board.
to me.
That board. Never mind.
All that matters is the music.
Yeah, and it is the Triple Triad music.
Okay, it's coming back.
So one of the big issues I have with this game is the reason I love Triple Triad was I loved it inside the Final Fantasy VIII world.
Because you were collecting cards.
Yeah,
in
I
the
loved
world.
running around, and every person, I would never press X to talk to them. I would always press square. Because if you press square and they didn't play, you just talk to them. But if they did, you would challenge them to Triple Triad. Depending on the region you were in the game, the rules change. Sometimes you would only collect one card. Sometimes you would collect only the cards that you would end up flipping. You would actually lose cards. In this, there's no way to lose cards.
Yeah.
If you win a match, you get a copy of one of your opponent's cards. And if you lose a match, if you're playing a person, they get a copy of one of your cards.
Man, that would be so much more addicting if there was actually something like on the line. Like if you could
Yeah,
lose
there's
cards.
nothing to lose here. There's nothing to lose.
It's like a money grab.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's how it works. You have 5 crystals. You have to spend a crystal to play a match. Even offline, just to you that right there. This cost me a crystal. And so you get 1 crystal back every half hour, but you can spend gil to buy crystals.
How do you get Gil?
How do you get gil? You buy gil.
with money.
You don't buy crystals. You buy gil, and then you spin the gil to get crystals.
Wait, like you spend real money?
Yeah, which makes no fucking sense to me. Why can't I just buy crystals for one thing? Why do I have to buy gil to buy crystals?
Someone over there is just hearing you say this and going, why didn't we think of
Yeah,
that?
it's really fucking... Because I saw, like, if you look at when I'm on the main menu, it'll show my crystals and it'll show my gil, and I have 0 gil. And I'm like, oh, well, how do I get gil? And I click on it, and it's like, oh, you can spend crystals, gil to buy crystals. And then there's another thing, and I go into that, and it's like, oh, you can buy gil. I have not found a single other way to earn gil.
So, that sucks.
Yeah.
It's cool, though, that they're obviously including cards from other Final Fantasy.
And so that's the thing I want to talk about. If you look at this menu I'm on, right there, you see 11, 12, 13, like if you look at the characters. So there's characters up through 13, and there's no 14, there's just a Moogle at the very end.
Yeah.
And each of those characters you fight in the single-player campaign have cards from that series, from that game.
Oh, that's cool.
So when you fight Squall, that's how you get like the Zell card and the Renoa card and stuff like that. But the thing that sucks about this game is you get no good cards from the single player. Well, I don't want to say that. There is a very, 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 very slim chance that in the single player, one of the characters you're fighting will have a good card, like a rank 5 or whatever it is, and that's essentially anything with like an A on it. You know, because this game the numbers here go like 1 through A, A being 10 essentially. There's a very slim chance that you'll get it. Most likely you can get it from playing people online. But the online sucks. Like, sometimes it takes forever to connect to somebody.
Who would delete a card?
Yeah, that is a delete a card. Sometimes when you connect to them, like, it's just like they won't make a move or like it times out. And like one time it was like, watch this, Brad, at the end of this. I'm about to choose, I think Zell, I can't remember who I was going to choose. I think I click on it. Yeah, I was going to choose Irving from Ape, and I was like, Brad's going to be watching this. I'll choose delete it.
Fuck Irvin. He should have took the shot.
He should have. So I chose delete it for you, Brad.
Nice.
But actually, I think that I played another match after I stopped recording, and I got a Ramza card. But anyway, nice. Online sucks. Like, sometimes I'll go and I'll try and battle someone and it'll like time out. I'm like, okay, whatever. I try and battle again. It's like, you can't battle that many people in that short amount of time. Like, wait, what? Like, first of all, I've only battled like 2 people.
Does it think you're cheating somehow?
I don't know, maybe. And the other thing is, there's these like limited edition cards, and you can only get them by like achieving certain, like, there's like achievements in this game, like do this many things and you get a card. And it sucks because if you fight someone online who has that card, it'll be like, you can't have this card because you haven't earned it yet, or something like that. And I'm like, why can't I just earn it? But I don't know.
Seems very half-baked.
You know, it's very half-baked, and like I said, there's no draw to it. Like, why do I want to play besides unlocking cards? There's no like world element. There's no.
What if they actually took the time to develop Triple Triad into like this adventure-style game? You know,
that'd be cool.
It would. You know.
They did that. It's called Final Fantasy VIII.
Well, no, that's not what I'm talking about.
But see, look, I'm out of crystals, so I gotta wait at least half an hour before I can play.
Do you know what was announced today?
What's that?
Magic the Gathering Puzzle Quest. Today or yesterday or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Which is great, like a great idea. But Puzzle Quest in its current incarnation is just fighting battles with no like RPG game to it anymore. As opposed to the original Puzzle Quest 1 and 2, where you were like walking around a map, getting into different types of battles, which would dictate, or getting into different kinds of like story moments, like whether it be a siege or like a monster that would dictate the type of puzzle battle you would do, and it kind of tied everything together and made it feel like this really nice cohesive adventure. They just removed all of that with Marvel Puzzle Quest, turned it into a fucking cash grab, and it's not worth it anymore. And I feel like that's what, like, the reason this game sucks is because mobile games ruined everything. And like, this is a great idea for a mobile device, but it exists in a world of mobile games, Japanese mobile games. This had no chance of being good. And it's a fucking bummer.
That does suck.
Yeah.
Because Triple Triad is a sexy game.
I mean, it's a simple game, but like Nolan was saying, it's the adventure that made it fun.
The thing that makes the game fun is it inside a world. it by itself is not super. Like I've been playing it a little bit for the past few days, but I'm at the point where it's like I don't really care anymore. Like I'm kind of done with it.
Yeah.
Especially just because I've been having so many like glitches. Like earlier, I was playing like right before the podcast, I was playing a versus, and I made a move and the opponent made a move, and it's like it's your turn, and like a time you have 60 seconds to make a move, and at the bottom it just says loading, and it won't let me make a move. And the timer just goes down and down and down. It's like, you didn't make a move. I mean, you wouldn't fucking let me make a move. Like, I don't know. The game's a little
That's some
broken.
horseshit.
And you have to launch the stupid Final Fantasy.
Yeah,
portal
so
app.
that's the thing. This is not an app on its own. There's a Final Fantasy app. You have to launch that app, and then inside that, there's a bunch
This
of
was
different
not a money grab built just to get people to get that damn app.
Probably.
That too.
Yeah. Because it is free. But yeah,
But you gotta get
it
the
is
app.
funny. It's really funny. I wish I was recording, but I was sitting on the toilet. There was a guy I
know.
ran into on Versus, and I can't remember what his name was.
Can you chat with him?
No, he only had Final Fantasy VIII characters,
Dork.
and he was playing super like defensive. He wasn't ever trying to flip my cards. He was only trying to not get his cards flipped, and the game ended in a draw. And I was like, oh, he's using the Final Fantasy VIII draw system.
Oh my god.
Lol.
Because like it seemed like he tried to not win.
And with that, we're
but
gonna
the thing
end
is,
the
hold on.
segment.
The thing is,
You killed it, Nolan.
No. His score was 0 wins, like 15 draws. I swear to God, he like only ever drew, like he never won, only draw. Like I wish I would have been recording when I did that.
But you were pooping.
Yeah, I was pooping. So would I
right.
play Gwent if it was a standalone game? No, I would not.
Oh.
That's another game. Gwent is a great.
It's
game.
fun inside the world.
At least
Yeah,
Gwent's a little
probably.
deeper than Triple Triad.
No,
Triple Triad
Gwent-
is like
Gwent is
like
definitely-
a notch over Tic Tac Toe.
Yeah, Gwent is so much more deeper, but in real life, it would be so much more fucking complicated. I mean, I guess if it was a
It
a
would not
digital
work in real
game,
life.
yeah, but yeah, in real life it couldn't, just because
Just
the
a bunch of
counters
math.
and yeah, there's too much math
Yeah.
involved. Anyway,
All right,
those are the games I've been playing.
we're gonna take a quick
Yeah.
break because that's what time it is. We're gonna take a quick break.
Yeah.
We'll come back. I know Brad has another game he wants to talk about.
Yes.
And we'll do news, we'll do community, all that stuff. And of course, after the show, we will play Until Dawn on the feed.
Until like midnight.
No, we're just gonna play until like midnight. Not even actually. Hopefully.
That's exactly what you just said. Anyways, I would also like to let everybody know that we do have official threads on the site now in the forums for both Until Dawn and Metal Gear. Go tell us what you think of the games, especially if you're playing either. Well, I guess you're not playing Metal Gear yet, but you're playing Until Dawn, most likely, or some of you might be. Anyways, let us know what you think. We're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be back in a second.
Yeah.
Don't go anywhere, guys.
Bye. You hear the shuffling of papers, Nick.
I do.
You know what that means?
I do. Wait, do you want me to say it?
Yes.
It's the bump spot.
The bump spot. The weekly bump spot.
All right, let's roll with it.
What do we have to do to talk about this week?
I don't know.
Nick?
You have the list, Brad.
New Patreon tiers. Tell me about that, Nick.
Well, we were planning on launching new Patreon tiers this week, but that has been tragically cut a little bit. We're not cut short. It's been
Pushed back.
pushed back. Thank you, Nolan. Pushed back to next week. We have a lot of stuff we're trying to get together for that. And PAX is coming up. We're getting ready to leave. So we're pushing that back to next week, but we're very excited about it. There's going to be some new stuff. It's going to be new pledging tiers that will affect, and I think everyone who's currently pledging and who's thinking about pledging will benefit from it. So
Cool.
Look for that.
Well, speaking of PAX, Nick, tell me about this community meetup. You guys are having a meetup, right?
We're going to do something community related at PAX. The thing is, there's a lot of people that we know for a fact have been going to PAX the past few years. There's not a lot of people that we know right now that we know are going
Yeah.
to PAX. But there will be people there.
It says here on the paper Saturday.
Saturday.
Okay.
Saturday. We'll do something Saturday at PAX. I would suggest following us on Twitter and checking the front page of the site. If you're going to be in attendance at the show, we will let you know what we're going to do. Probably something small, low-key, but we want to meet people if they're out there. So,
Well, hey, Nick, if they can't attend the meetup, is there a way that they could find other ways to help us?
yes, Brad. Funny you bring that up. We're actually going to be posting. So we're going to be looking for a little bit of help because we need it.
We need help, guys.
We need some help.
We're looking for some helpers.
We're going to be looking for some helpers. Specifically, we're going to be looking for people to help us out with some social media related stuff, some graphic production and design stuff.
And I think we're looking for maybe a couple more people to help out with like the clipping of highlights.
Yes.
Wait. Yes, a couple.
Is there anything written on that paper, Brad?
Yes. including board game night. It's coming up soon, Nick.
Yes. When is board game night coming, Brad?
Actually, let's check in with Nolan on that one.
September 15th.
September 15th. It's not written on the paper, Nick.
There's
what the
nothing
hell?
on the paper.
Also, finally, Metal Gear Solid 5 next week.
Holy fuck.
Why is this good news?
Because it's Metal Gear, and it's... Well, this is actually really bad news, because we're never going to finish all the stuff coming out this year, Brad.
Sure.
Right?
Yes.
Right.
Look, the papers say we have lots of games.
Yeah, we do have lots of games. There's also one thing you failed to mention.
What is that?
It's also Metal Gear related.
Okay, tell me about this, Nick.
September... I thought it was written on your papers, Brad.
Oh, yes! Mini Project M. We have another one coming up.
We're doing another mini Project M, courtesy of our patrons. We'll be doing that live on the feed on September...
Wait. 12th?
12th. September 12th. And it's going to feature Nolan. Say hi, Nolan.
Hi, Nolan.
Nolan's here in the bump spot? This is
Actually,
futuristic.
whoa. I'm sorry. I failed to mention one thing. It's not just Metal Gear. It's Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes.
Twin Snakes, the twist.
We're going to be doing Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes, Mini Project M, Nolan and Crispy.
Nolan and Crispy.
And Crispy. And for those of you who may be uninitiated, that is a straight run through of the game. It's kind of a casual race between two people in the site. We'll be doing it live. We haven't decided yet on an exact time we'll be starting, but we'll post that on the site so we'll have the details up fairly soon. So look for that.
Well, Nick, I don't have anything else here for us.
I think the summary should be to check back on 4playernetwork.com, because we're going to be posting a lot more details on just about all of that stuff that we just talked about.
Cool. Peace out.
Yeah, okay. Let's get back to the podcast. And we are back to the show. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back, Brad.
Hello.
Welcome back, Nolan.
Hey.
And Crispy, hello.
Hey, what's up?
Video games. Video games are up. We have... Wait, Brad has one more game I wanted to talk about. Can you keep
Yes,
it,
I do
can
have
you
one more game to talk
keep
about.
it brief?
It's not really going to be that long anyways. But I have been playing a new game. A new game that came out last week. It's called Shadowrun Hong Kong. Now, if you're not familiar with Shadowrun Returns, it's sort of like this series of Shadowrun games that they've been releasing since their initial Kickstarter success. This is a separate separate game that they kickstarted separately from Shadowrun Returns. But it's the third Shadowrun game.
Isn't this the game
story.
that... Didn't you start this recently and then you
No.
something happened? Or wasn't there another Shadowrun game you were playing and
That was Shadowrun Dragonfall.
Didn't you fuck up or something?
Which was the second one. Yeah, I lost my save or something.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That sucks.
This is Shadowrun Hong Kong. It's the third one. And I was kind of excited to play this because Dragonfall, which is the game I didn't finish, was being spoken about like with crazy reverence from fans of these classic, Western RPGs. So I was kind of excited to pick up this new one because it's new and I feel like because it just came out, I'm more likely to be able to get away with broadcasting it. Because this is not a super broadcast-friendly game. I mean, think something like a lot of these games have been coming out, like your Divinity, like your Wasteland 2, like your Pillars of Eternity. It's that type of game. The combat is very much XCOM Enemy Unknown in terms of, cover's super important. You have your range that you can move to, and then you have your sprinting range and you can't act after that. It's very much like XCOM, but the combat and the gameplay is not the main draw of these games. It doesn't really compare to XCOM, honestly. You play these games for the story, for the setting, for the atmosphere, and for the characters.
Wait, so it's like
that's
XCOM
what they're really good at.
with story?
Like a lot of story. This game is what you will be reading a lot in this game. There is a lot of dialogue, a lot of characters, a lot of description. It is of the style where it doesn't just have people talking. It has scene setting. It has it'll give a couple of paragraphs describing a person you're about to talk to. Or it'll describe the actions, like the emotions they're making with their faces, in between bits of dialogue. It's like reading a book.
Ugh.
No, but do you know what I'm saying?
I couldn't help myself.
Instead of a character just like Planescape Torment, for example. Instead of a character just yelling, "Get over here!" It'll be like, he fucking.
Hey, you get over here.
He shook his fist angrily in the air and shouted, "Get over here!"
But add a few more sentences to that, maybe. You know what I mean?
So what you're saying is the acting can't carry the narrative.
There is no acting. It's writing.
Oh, it's all. There's no voice acting.
No, there's no voice acting.
Oh, I'm definitely not playing this game.
voice acting.
But because there's no voice acting, they're allowed to write it in such a way that you don't see in a lot of video games, especially anymore.
Actually,
You know what I mean?
sound really cool.
And these games they all end up coming to tablets as well. And I very much feel like
It seems like a very tablet-friendly game.
yeah, because it is a very story-driven game. Because combat is honestly pretty few and far between. I specifically loaded an old save just so you can see a little bit of the combat. It is very XCOM.
What's the ratio combat to story?
like 30%.
30% combat, rest of the story?
Yes.
Holy
Really?
hell.
Yeah.
So this sounds like a lot of reading.
Yes.
When you were
But it's
saying
good.
when you were saying that it was like combat-wise, it didn't really hold up to XCOM. Did you mean that it's like, is it easy? Is it like
No, it's
simple?
not.
or
It's not. It doesn't have the flair of XCOM. Like you shoot a gun in XCOM and it's fucking punchy and visceral and it's satisfying to kill things in those games. Like even before you get to the cinematic angles that make it look even cooler. It's not like
bodies
that in this game.
explode and yeah.
I mean, it's still a relatively deep game in terms of combat. Like, there's a bunch of different types of classes. You create your own character. You level him up. You pick his skills. And you have some control over how your party levels up too. I mean, there's loot and whatnot. Like, I'm playing a rigger, which is basically I have a robot. I have drones that I have
Every week with this guy.
I'm so sorry.
It's
was best because Crispy and Nolan both just turned their head, looked at me at the same time. Sorry.
A rigger controls drones in this game.
Oh, okay.
Which I picked because I thought it would kind of match the early party composition. The other characters you started with weren't this type of class.
So can you choose the class of all your characters?
No.
Okay.
But you can find a bunch of different people to recruit that are of different classes if you want.
So what is your party limit in these?
4.
4? Can you ever expand that, or is it just always 4?
It's always 4, but before you take on a mission, you can choose who you want to bring on that mission, kind of Mass Effect style.
Okay, cool.
But it's good. It's you're going to be reading a lot, but it is well written. If you like a cyberpunk setting, if you want a deep story in a cyberpunk setting, this is the game to play. If you're looking for more gameplay, maybe wait and try Satellite Rain, which comes out later this week. That's much more gameplay driven than story driven. Or if you always wish there was more story,
Comes out later this week. Not gonna happen.
I'm a little. Are you saying this is the game to play, as in this specific, like Hong Kong, or like the series?
Okay, so they're not really connected. They're all separate stories, separate sets of characters. You don't need to play Dead Man Switch is the first one, then
Same
Dragonfall,
world?
and then
It's all the same world, though, right?
it's all the same world. Yeah,
Okay.
like there's Deckers, there's Riggers, there's Street Samurai, all those different classes. They all translate.
There's a class called Street Samurai, and you
Yes.
didn't pick that? That sounds so fucking cool.
Well, yeah, whatever.
Okay.
Until you learn it's a homeless man with a butter.
Is
knife.
anybody else at all interested in that show called Into the Badlands on AMC?
What is it?
Into the Badlands.
I haven't heard
First of all,
of
it's an
that.
AMC show. Second of all, it looks like a wandering samurai, like
Like a Ronin story?
yeah, but like set in like a cyberpunky type of setting. I think
I'm
kind of.
into it.
Yeah.
It's
I don't
gotta
know,
be
it
better
looks
than
cool.
Walking Dead.
Dude, did anyone watch Fear the Walking Dead?
Hold
Hell
on,
no.
hold on. Let me wrap this
Way
up.
better
I'm
than
so
that.
almost done.
Okay.
I will say that there's not a lot of reviews for this. Again, it's the season. There's some word on the street that maybe this one's not as good as Dragonfall, which was the last one. Dragonfall Director's Cut. So if you're curious about getting into a Shadowrun game, you like the setting, maybe don't necessarily go run out and pick up Hong Kong unless you're really into like that aspect of it. Like you like the kind of the blend between Hong Kong, which is, you typically see a lot in cyberpunk settings, the Asian influence as well. But maybe get Dragonfall on like a sale, or even not on sale. It's going to be cheaper than this probably, but it's cool, and I'll definitely play more of it. I'm debating on whether I'm going to keep streaming it or not, because it's a lot of voice acting on my part.
Yeah,
but it's cool, and I'll definitely try to finish it before the end of the year. So.
Nice.
You'll try and you'll fail. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Anyways, all right, let's keep this train rolling. It's time for the news. There's been some news to talk about, right?
News.
Indeed.
I want to start with my
Stuff.
fuck you of the week.
That's not how this works.
I know, but it's also my
Mercury
news topic.
Steam.
No,
That's not your fuck you of the
no,
week?
my fuck you of the week goes to Nintendo.
What?
Because Fatal Frame 5
Yeah.
is getting a North American release confirmed as a digital only sale
That sucks.
in North America.
Which
While
sucks.
Europe is getting a limited edition physical edition they can buy.
You gonna
What is it?
import?
Region free?
No.
Oh, that sucks
Oh,
balls.
really? Ugh.
Nope.
That sucks balls.
Like,
dude,
it's
Nintendo
not even a
does
limited
suck.
print that you could like.
No,
fucking-
Nintendo of America.
Oh, yeah.
Nintendo of North America sucks.
I wish there was at least something that could be like I wish they would like print to order, like press the disc if you order it kind of
Yeah.
thing.
They probably,
That would be awesome.
they can't do that. But
Yeah.
I know, but it'd be nice.
This is really lame. I also hear the game is like 16
Chris
gigabytes.
Davis has been telling me for months this is going to happen. You think I didn't know this was going to happen? Of course I knew this was going to happen. That doesn't make me any
Well-
less pissed about it.
Well, Nick, I mean, The Devil's Third is getting a retail disc release.
Fuck Nintendo for giving that piece of shit a physical release in North America and not Fatal Frame. What
Yeah,
in
that is
the
pretty
fuck?
dumb.
Yakuza 5 is digital only. Hitman is digital only. But Devil's Third.
Well, Hitman is digital only for a limited time.
How can Nintendo do anything digital only when they sell consoles that the game is like bigger than like the console's hard
Not to mention their online service
Yeah.
has been notorious for years for
If you
not
got
being
the
up to
white
snuff.
one.
Yeah.
If you got the white one, can you just not play it?
You have to use like an external hard drive.
Brad, thank
That's
you for amending
compatible.
that, because it really does seem to me like that's the bigger reason to say fuck you Nintendo, is for giving Devil's Third. That thing is going to bomb like way worse than Fatal Frame would.
Yeah.
No, well, they'll both bomb.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
So this is
one
how-
of the cool things they're doing, which might even be the reason they're going pure digital, well, also money. But you're going to be able to play like the first chapter and a half
First
of this
two
game.
chapters.
First two chapters of this
free.
game, and it sounds like it might be like a substantial amount, not like substantial, but I mean you're going to be playing for more than 15 minutes.
So Jack does bring up in chat a good point, which it says, but I don't think he's correct in this instance, but that is also could be loosely tied to the patent that was rumored for, or patent filed by Nintendo for a no optical drive console, which I don't know where that's going to go, or I'd rather wait to talk about that later when we actually know more. I don't think it's at all related to Fatal Frame. I think it's Nintendo just not having faith in their fucking product, which is weird because they somehow have enough faith in Devil's Third to put it out. But
Hey Nick, will you let me transition here?
I guess. I
gotta say, Nintendo probably has no faith in anything if they're going to maybe let Mercury Steam even come close to. Okay.
is this a transition? Are you
Yes.
still transitioning?
Yeah, well-
He's trying. He's trying real hard.
Mercury Steam
You can do it, Brad.
was working on a Metroid prototype.
What does that mean?
It means they put
They
together.
were prototyping.
They were going to make a Metroid game?
They
Yeah.
were going to make a Metroid game.
Is that what that image was that we were all wondering what that was from? That Mercury Steam
No,
picture?
no. That's something else.
Okay.
I don't know where this is, like how far along in this prototype phase they got. I don't know if they were already in talks with Nintendo as kind of a maybe. I don't know if they were putting this together to like go pitch to Nintendo. I don't know if there's a lot of details out there for that.
So they
All
really-
I'm going to say is we know it's not happening,
Good.
and this is why I can't sleep at night.
No, but you know what?
Because-
That is disturbing for another reason too. Because if they were building this on spec, that means that Mercury Steam, they're out there. on the hunt.
That's what I'm
They're
saying.
looking
This is what I'm
for your
saying.
favorite franchises.
And this is the kind
Hide
of
your children, hide your wife, hide your favorite
Hide
franchises.
your favorite game.
This is the kind of Western studio that these big Japanese publishers, they love, because these publishers like Capcom and Konami, they don't have talent anymore. They all left to go form their own fucking studios.
I'm gonna
so they
call
go
it
to
right now.
these budget ass Western studios that maybe made one moderately successful game, not a good one, maybe just a moderately successful one, to like give them their fucking franchises, because they're like, we don't know what to
I'm
do
gonna
with
call
them.
it right now. If we ever see another Silent Hill game, I bet it's gonna be Mercury Steam.
No, we're never gonna see another Silent Hill game. But
You just ripped my heart out.
what
Without
I
even thinking
will
about it.
say, Nick, is that we are not safe. It is gonna happen. Mercury Steam is gonna touch something again that one of us love, and there is no helping it. There's no saving
They're
us.
going to inappropriately touch something.
They almost destroyed
Mercury Steam.
Metroid. Do you understand what that means? If they destroyed Castlevania and Metroid, they just single-handedly destroyed the Metroidvania. Just killed it. They would have had to rename the genre, because Mercury Steam is fucking terrible.
Well, Nintendo wasn't helping with this new fucking Metroid-esque whatever. What is this game that they're doing?
Oh, well, the Federation Force.
Federation
Good
Force,
Lord.
whatever.
It
that
doesn't even
shit
matter.
is.
But how bad
Yeah.
did that Mercury Steam thing have to be that Nintendo went with
Yeah, no, thank you.
Federation Force?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I just remember I wanted to rewatch the trailer, and it had such bad like 90% thumbs down on YouTube.
I just couldn't bring myself to watch it. All right, let's move on to something happy. Nolan,
Yeah,
I'm excited for this.
Yeah.
Yarn Yoshi.
No,
Oh.
but that is kind of cool.
You
looking.
seen the giant one?
Yeah.
Is that coming
Um,
out this year?
I think so. Maybe I don't remember. Dying Light.
I love this game.
You do.
Wearing a
I
shirt.
do too. The following is their new DLC.
Not, isn't that show with Kevin Bacon?
Probably. No release date still, but they just released a new gameplay trailer.
That's because it's like they're making a whole new fucking game.
Yeah. So the thing I was thinking about that, and so this game is a lot less rural. More rural. It's a lot less urban.
There, it's more rural.
If you look at Dying Light, that game is so fucking dense with buildings and structures. Like, it is a very dense world. The following looks, it's like in like a farmland. So it's in like a different map.
And apparently a cave.
Yeah, you start in like a cave. It's like you talk to someone and they tell you about it. And so you go to find out. Like, it seems like I think someone maybe has like a cure, maybe, or something like that. And so
Zombrex.
yeah. So you're kind of, no, not like Zombrex to fight off. They have like an actual.
I don't
like,
know. I
a
enjoy the
cure.
story of Dying Light enough to be excited about another expansion.
Yeah. And so you're kind of off on your way to find it. And the thing I have with it's very open world. And they said, oh, you need one of the new elements, which is the dune buggy, to get across it. But to me, that kind of sounds like you need it just because it's an open world of
There's
nothing.
there's not gonna be a lot of parkour. That's kind of the concern.
Yeah,
that
and so
everyone voiced.
that's my thing. Is it seems like, I mean, if you look at this, it's just like fields and trees. It seems like there might not be. There's going to be like some farmhouses and stuff like that, but I don't know how
I mean,
much.
a couple of things.
But you know what? You were worried. We were worried about that when before Assassin's Creed 3 came out, and look how that turned out.
God damn it, Brad.
Oh wait.
They a couple of things that they've actually confirmed about this is that in addition to being more rural, it's they've actually they've tweaked the combat and to basically reinforce or
Guns?
focus more on like not only guns but like
Guns over
like-
melee.
These are not realistic. Like
Have you played Dying Light?
these structures don't exist in nature.
Yeah.
These look like giant mushrooms hanging from the side of a cliff.
This is also a video game, Brad. It's okay.
Were you watching some reality show about cliffs recently?
We don't really know.
And yes,
But I don't know. So they're gonna reemphasize like gun combat.
Correct.
So let's focus on melee. You're gonna have a lot more like machine guns. and
This
things
right
like
here
that.
is one of the things I love about Dying Light is shit like this.
Verticality
Yeah, like you just jump.
and wingsuit.
No, you just
Yeah.
Of course, he probably would have died from that. But anyway, so yeah, and so two of the new weapons they featured in this gameplay trailer are SMGs and a crossbow. So a crossbow is one of the new weapons. Apparently, a lot of the community was asking for it.
Crossbow is very like the new hotness.
Walking turd.
Yeah, that's what kind of made it popular. And so that's one of the things. They talk about emphasizing guns in this game. And I played a good 35, 40 hours of the Dying Light. And I would say about 95% of the time, I was using melee.
The thing is, I liked
not guns.
I liked Dying Light proper because those moments where I used a gun were like moments of extreme desperation.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Not to say that, fun can't be had using guns. I think it'll actually be nice to go back and play an expansion of the game in a new setting with a new kind of focus. It won't feel like more of the same necessarily. I don't know. I'm excited. Not to mention they have said that the map that they've created for this game is actually larger than the entirety of Dying Light.
So that's what I was saying. So Dying Light, there's 3 areas. There's the main one, there's the second one you go to, and then there's like kind of like one you briefly
Very
go
small
to.
area
Yeah,
to go to,
they say it's bigger than all 3 of those combined. But like I said, my fear is, while it might be physically larger, I feel it's going to be much less populated with stuff.
Yeah.
Like, look at...
It looks like Far Cry.
Yeah, it does look like Far Cry. Think of the first area in Dying Light. There were so many buildings and houses and structures and it was so dense. And the second area was even more dense with shit.
But at the same time, exploring countryside during the zombie apocalypse is pretty cool.
And this is one of the things that I thought was pretty cool is that you can like interact with these bales of hay. You can like roll it and it'll like roll over zombies. That's kind of cool. But like I said, I just have a fear that unlike Far Cry, where it's in these big, vast, beautiful areas. Well, that gave you something to do. There were random animals you could encounter.
Oh, that's cool.
There was things hidden and you can collect stuff. Like I don't really find myself doing that too much in Dying Light. I mean, a little. But
I want to know if they're gonna like expand the skill trees and stuff, and
I think they are.
I'm worried. I'm a little worried they're gonna actually just basically reset everything and use the same skill trees.
And so one of the things is the dune buggy is customizable, so you can like upgrade it. Like I guess it kind of has its own skill tree. Like you can change the physical appearance of it, but you can also add like UV lights.
That's cool.
So when you drive around at night, you can just like...
This demo doesn't include any nighttime play.
No, it does not.
I want to know what the countryside is like at night.
Probably scary as fuck.
Yeah.
Because
there's nothing to hide behind.
Exactly. There's nothing to climb up or go into or whatever, yeah. But so they did say it's DLC. It's not like its own story. It does kind of scale to the game. So
there's not a story component to go with it?
There is. But I'm saying it's not a separate. It is a separate thing, but not at the same time. It's not like its own standalone thing.
Oh, okay.
It kind of it's not tied into the main story.
You still have to have Dying Light to play it.
Yes, you do. But they recommended if you just bought Dying Light and you want to play this, don't maybe, because it's not scaled for people who are low level. I mean, like you can do it, but it'll probably be really
there's
tough.
Training wheels.
Exactly. And so they were saying like you keep all your skills, even all your weapons and stuff. Like everything, you just keep it all. And you kind of go into this new area and you kind of explore.
Well, that's cool. I'm very excited. We still don't have a release date for it.
No, unfortunately we don't.
I'm sure it'll be this year.
I hope not.
Dude, Dying Light is great.
Oh my god, Brad. It's such a fucking
It's so
good
weird
game.
because like you two are like the biggest Dying Light fans in the world.
But before it came out, I was the biggest proponent against it.
I know.
Like
I'm not
was
saying I
super
don't believe
anti-
you. I do believe you.
Yeah,
That's
thank
why
you.
I do believe you guys. That's why I'm torn because I look at reviews and it's like mid to low 7s and I'm like, why? These guys love it so much.
That doesn't.
I haven't looked at reviews.
Maybe they're not that low.
No, they're not.
It's
Dude,
kind of
they're
janky, but it's fun.
Dude, this is.
You love it too, right?
I don't love it, but it was a lot of fun. I didn't finish
He
it.
doesn't want to commit.
My problem is I never got far enough to get the grappling hook. So.
And that's a fucking game changer.
That's a game changer.
Like, so I think one of the reasons I had so much fun playing this game is because I would say 95% of it I was playing it with community, like mainly Jaeger. Like me and Jaeger pretty much ran.
I had a
this
blast when I
entire...
was playing with Burnsy and everybody.
Yeah, like playing it with other people, it just makes it so much more fun.
I don't look at reviews for everything, but when you have to make choices of one game over the other, they help.
I mean, this is absolutely one of the biggest surprises of the year for me so far.
Oh, definitely.
So,
This is not a surprise. You were anticipating this thing since the moment you saw it, Nick.
No, but like this had Dead Island. Like this, there's a lot of baggage with this game. This is from the guys who made Dead Island, and I hated Dead Island. So,
but I feel like they got similar reviews, like Dead Island and this.
Dude, this game is everything that Dead Island was supposed to be,
and more,
and done right.
Yep.
So, that's just one take on it, but whatever.
So this is better than The Order, at least.
Oh my God, Brad.
Okay.
Yes. Anyways, Crispy, you have anything for us?
I do.
What?
And it's kind of fucked up.
Oh, great. Let's come down off the...
So, I'm sure you guys have all heard about this, or maybe not, but over the weekend, the Pokemon World Championships were being held in Boston.
Oh, God, you're...
And apparently Brad's not the only guy who hates Pokemon.
What? That's not a funny joke.
That's not a funny joke, I'm sorry. But nothing happened. Funny. Nothing happened, but... two gentlemen from Iowa were arrested. They were detained trying to enter the event with a semi-automatic AR-15 and a Remington 12-gauge shotgun.
Why? Did they ever figure out why?
No, but
'cause they're
apparently... dumb. Okay, so they were arrested on gun charges. They were arrested because they didn't have proper permits for the guns that they were carrying. They weren't arrested for any of the online threats which they are accused of making against the World Pokemon Tournament. Or championship.
My God.
But apparently, after they had posted some stuff on Facebook about threatening the championship, the private security company that had been contracted to oversee the event got wind of it, alerted the police. They kept their eyes out for them, and they caught the guys. Apparently, with all the guns they said that they were going to bring to the event, like trying to get in. So that's a good thing.
Are these like
These were two Iowa guys. One of them's 27 and one of them is 18.
Jesus.
And
are these
apparently
like washed up Pokemon trainers that are
well,
really
here's the
upset,
thing. The Boston Globe said that apparently the 27-year-old had been a winner at a state level Pokemon tournament earlier in the year.
God.
Wow.
So who knows?
This might
like,
actually
who
have
really knows.
This might have actually had something to do with Pokemon and not just.
This might have been some kind of like Pokemon trainer grudge.
Yeah.
Like
my first instinct was like, okay, they picked it because it's obviously a large event and there's gonna be people there. But now that we're talking about it, it's like this may have actually been inspired.
But the two people thing
Pokemon,
always
like,
throws me for a loop, though. Just like with Columbine, you know what I mean? Because it's like you gotta like these people are like completely mentally unstable.
One of their threats had been that they were going to execute a Columbine Part 2.
Yeah.
And another Boston Massacre.
Isn't that fucking scary to find two mentally unstable people who are willing to work together to do something like this?
That's terrible.
That's fucking
I don't think it's scary at all.
It might also have something to do with the fact that one of them's like 10 years older than the other one, and it seemed that the older guy was kind of like the
instigator.
One, yeah, the one who was like kind of pushing everything forward.
They were already in Massachusetts,
and I mean, it's scary. Nothing happened. Luckily, the championship went on. They finished on Sunday. Everything was fine. Nobody was hurt. But like this was pretty close.
So
I have no idea. I didn't follow. But,
was it a Charmander?
United States.
It was somebody with like 3 Mews. I don't know. But yeah, like that's fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
How close this almost came to being a thing.
that is insane.
Yeah.
That is insane.
Jesus Christ.
Well, that's all very happy news. Let's move on, shall we? Has anybody else got anything else? All right. I think it's that time, Nolan.
What time's that, Nick?
It's the community time.
Woo! It's time for community. Woo! All right. This is the best part of the show because it involves you, the community.
It does involve
our favorite people in the world. We have 2 new patrons this week.
We do.
Who have subscribed since last week. The first one is James H.
James H.
And the second one is James S.
James S.
No
Wait,
relation.
2 James?
Yeah, they're not related though.
Well, of course not.
All these James, that's what I'm
If their
talking
last
about.
name was the same, there'd be a question.
Yeah, but apparently they're a big fan of James.
Too many James.
Video James.
What if I just name this the James Show?
No,
Don't do
that's
that.
silly.
Yeah, I know. I'm not gonna do
It is still August.
it is August.
Yeah.
So our subscriber of the
Supposedly.
month or supporter of the month is Liz6005. She chose Dishonored and Penumbra as her games.
By the way, I did play Penumbra
Nick
last
played
week.
some on Friday, and there was a funny penis clip.
Ooh,
That game got
speaking
me.
of Dishonored, that the definitive edition, not so definitive.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't
there's a
even realize
reason
that.
they have not been talking about this thing. It's just they just shat it out, just a money grab.
Well, that's nice.
There's a lot of money grabs this episode.
All right, questions. We got some questions from our patrons.
We do.
Lay 'em on me.
Let's answer
Lay
these
them on
questions.
thick, Nolan.
Andrew C asks, I know this is an old game, but what are your guys' opinions on Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines in terms of storyline, world, and RPG mechanics? Do you think this game will ever get a sequel? And if so, what can be expanded on it from the original?
Well, I don't.
No, it's never going to get a sequel.
I do really like Bloodlines. It's never gonna get a proper sequel because Troika, the company that the developer that made it, doesn't exist anymore.
But what if it gets
But the
kickstarted?
publishing company that makes Vampire the Masquerade still exists, so they could always license out the property to somebody else.
but there's been vampire games that
What if it gets
that
kickstarted?
weren't as good as Bloodlines. There was Redemption or whatever, and from what I understand, that game sucks.
There's always the possibility that the
There was-
team will come together to kickstart it, and
There's-
we'll see a spiritual
I mean, it's
successor.
possible.
There was going to be an MMO in that universe that was in development for a long time that got canceled.
That could have been interesting.
But
Sounds like
should've.
Second Life with vampires.
it is a game that has a great fucking world, great fucking writing,
Yeah.
memorable characters. The gameplay
Yeah, that the
is
gameplay is
kind of
the issue.
iffy,
Yeah.
and the big problem with that is there are
Didn't you play that during 96 month?
no.
no. This is a much more recent game.
Yeah.
It was
Really?
like 2001
Yeah.
game or something.
Oh.
No, it's like
You did play it recently,
It was
though,
like
right?
2004.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, was
Bloodlines was the first officially released Source Engine game, I believe. The Half-Life 2 engine.
Really?
Yeah, it came
didn't
out
know that.
before Half-Life 2. I
Dude,
believe.
it looks.
That's funny.
It looks kind of butt though.
Yeah.
like.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
2004.
Sure.
Oh wait. So yeah. I mean, it's cool for that. I mean, the problem is when it's one thing to have iffy gameplay, but the thing is they give you these missions that have a lot of combat in them, like waves of enemies,
Yeah.
and they're just bad. Especially the sewer. But it's cool. I mean, if you like something like Deus Ex or System Shock 2,
That's not out this year, right, guys?
I think Vampire is probably a must play.
Maybe I don't know.
No.
Dude, it's fun, and if you do it, you have to pick the what are they? The Malkovians or
Yeah, something like that.
the crazy guys.
Well,
Yeah.
no. Fans of the game will tell you not to play as them first.
Yeah, the first time.
Dude,
Dude, that's the
Therefore,
only time. That's the only character I've ever played
They're-
as, and
they're
it was
so
amazing.
crazy.
But the thing
It's
is,
so
because
good.
they're crazy, they actually spoil certain story points.
It would. Oh, really?
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Like they just know shit.
Yeah, they just know shit.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Next question from Miklopa.
Miklopa.
Alternative dimension time. If you were a lady, what type of clothes would you use?
What?
Where? Also,
I
do
would
you
have
think
giant
you would,
boobs.
also, do you think you would look pretty as a girl? I know I would be hot as hell.
I would not
That's
look,
very-
I would not look pretty as a girl.
I would be ugly as sin as a girl.
As long as I had huge boobs, I'd be okay, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, I'd keep the beard, obviously.
Is it weird that in this hypothetical world that where I'm a girl, I definitely don't want to have gotten there with like fake boobs. I only want real.
That was going to be the question I was going to
boobs.
ask. So if you were a
that
girl,
weird?
if you were a girl and you didn't have the size boobs you wanted, would you want to get fake boobs?
No.
No,
No.
Neither would I.
I don't think so.
I'm saying, as a guy, I like au natural. As a woman, I also would like. I mean,
Spectral in
I-
chat has right. He says Nick would probably be the best looking girl of the bunch. Wait, should I take that
that's
as an insult?
I don't know how you should take that, dude.
More like
not
the
take that
hairiest
either.
girl of the bunch.
Yeah. Do I still have all
The
the hair?
biggest supporter of Nair in the world.
I said I'd leave the beard. I'd be the bearded woman. But the question was about clothes. What clothes would we
Yeah,
wear?
what clothes?
Oh,
I don't
sorry,
think-
I don't-
juicy pants?
I'd wear the pants that say juicy on the butt.
Low cut shirts.
Yeah.
Shirts for my amazing boobs.
Skirts, I guess. So that's the thing, is like one of the reasons that like I can understand kilts is like sometimes your balls getting a breeze would be nice, but then if you're a lady, then you don't need it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean,
They have other.
You would have your
things that-
balls if you were a lady.
No, but they're, it's always good to let it breathe, whatever it is.
Let it-
You know what I'm saying?
like a fine red wine, just let it breathe.
Holy crap!
I don't know. I'd probably.
I don't like thinking about this because
I would. You know what though? Like
it's gonna
I feel
change
like
my perception of my.
there's a lot of really nice, like kind of vintage inspired fashion for women nowadays.
Yeah.
That could be fun. I think I'd enjoy that. Like a polka dot dress or something. Get like a hair bump. Wear like librarian glasses. I think that'd be hot.
Spectral Shot says man with vagina or woman with penis. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, that's not a decision I want to ever be involved with at all.
But I have seen the occasional cartoon where the lady miraculously grows a penis. That's always interesting.
Doesn't it usually come out of the vagina?
I don't know.
What?
Like in you're talking about the. Never mind.
What the fuck are y'all talking about?
Anime. Have you never seen an anime
Y'all never seen
where they had sex?
And then all of a sudden,
Sometimes the lady was like, "I have a penis now."
What?
and yeah, dude, you've never seen
It's
this?
called hentai, and it's a
I
dark,
know what hentai
dark
is.
rabbit hole.
I know what hentai is. I've never seen.
Dude,
There's just like a penis comes out.
Dude,
of
you
her?
never
Like-
know.
Like she has a penis now.
You never know with hentai. Like sometimes everything's going great, and then all of a sudden a penis grows out of her vagina.
Dude,
It's Bible Black is usually the culprit.
Bible Black.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. Let's not talk about porn.
You know what's weird though? Most of like the video game, like porn, of like Mass Effect characters doing it. For some reason,
They have dicks.
yeah, they have dicks. What is
Like
up with that?
all of the Asari have dicks.
Why do all of the Asari have massive cocks?
I think dicks are more pleasing to draw.
Well, because they're kind of like a hermaphroditic
I think they're
species.
easier to draw.
They're probably a little easier, yeah.
Because
but
most
then-
of the artists are probably dudes. And
Well,
they're
hold
like,
on.
I know what a dick looks like.
Like, if you're gonna like draw a genitalia, are you gonna draw a big dick or are you gonna draw a big vagina? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's much more like, you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
It's just more fun to draw a dick. I
That's what I'm
guess.
saying. Yeah.
Not much going on with drawing a vagina. I mean, granted, I've seen some stuff that can make drawing a vagina seem kind of exciting, I guess, but
I don't even know. What was the question?
About clothes.
well, if I was an Asari with a giant cock and huge cans,
Did anybody else,
I would dress the sexiest.
Did anybody see that Superman comic? It was a spoof comic, but it was like Clark Kent and Lois Lane finally have sex for the first time, and he like takes off his pants, and she's like, "Oh my God, what is that?" And he's like, "It's my penis," and she's like, "Why does it have claws?" And he's like, "To hold on to you, duh," because he's an alien.
Yes.
That's not.
That's pretty funny.
All right.
Next question.
Next question from Piosht.
Piofed.
Recently, I picked up Valkyria Chronicles again.
That's a great game.
While I was playing, the aesthetics and art style of the game finally hit me, and I gained a new appreciation for the direction they took with the graphics. Have you ever gone back to a game after a while and noticed something new?
With specifically visuals?
I don't think necessarily visuals. I think that was just what Piosht was mentioning.
I very rarely go back to a game once I've given up on it once, although that's not. I mean, it's true.
Once it's dead to me.
Once I know what I'm getting myself into, I usually,
Wait, what was the question?
Have you ever gone back to a game and noticed something new?
Yeah, dude. I mean, that was my entire experience with the first Dark Souls. I tried to play that game like 2 or 3 times and only got like an hour or 2 into it and was like, this isn't for me.
Okay.
And then one day I finally went back and was like, you know what? I'm going to make myself play this for like 4 hours.
I'm glad you did.
And then I fell in love with it.
Nice.
So it can happen. It just doesn't happen
But we
often.
didn't answer that question.
What was that
necessarily.
question?
I mean, Crispy did.
Yeah,
Well,
he
the rest
said-
of us.
I
mean, probably off the top of my head, I can't remember.
I think the answer to that question is yes, but I couldn't tell you specifically.
I think anytime you go back and replay a game, you're definitely going to notice something you didn't notice the first time around. Just because you're going in with not a fresh set of eyes, but a set of eyes you've seen it before, and so maybe you're looking for different things in the game. So yeah, I think that's always the case.
I love how Chris Davis opened that link but didn't show us what was in it.
Right?
No, I
What
wanna
a
see.
dick.
I think
wanna
that's
see.
the comic.
Sci-Fi posted it.
What
I
an
want to see it.
what
I
a
demand
giant
it.
I think
Sorry,
that's the comic
dick.
that you were saying.
Oh yeah, that's the
It's
comic.
huge.
Oh, it is fucking huge.
Damn,
You're
them
gonna have to
lats.
scroll down. Wait, no.
Oh,
you know, I'm done.
Oh god.
Okay, let's move on to the next question from Michael
Fresh
M.
off the farm.
Stop scrolling
Damn it,
down.
Clark.
Michael M. Brad, I guess this is a question for Brad. Brad, what's your favorite Hitman Blood Money level? Also, did you enjoy any of the other Hitman games before?
Okay, I did play through most of Hitman 2, which I like. There are some levels that really stand out of Hitman 2, but there's some levels that are super linear
Is
and
that
action.
Silent Assassin?
Silent Assassin. I have played some
just
contracts
so weird
as
hearing it.
well, but my favorite levels from my favorite level from Blood Money. Oh man, it's a tough one. I like the.
I know what you're gonna say, Brad. I'm making a prediction right here.
I don't think you know the answer.
Is it the hillbilly wedding?
No,
Damn it!
it is A New Life, the one in
I'm
Suburbia.
gonna say A New Life was probably yours.
Oh,
I really do
Is
like
that
the
hot dogs?
Yes.
Yeah, I really do like the
dogs?
hillbilly wedding though.
The A New Life is fun just because there's so many different things you can do.
Yeah.
It's like so many different ways you can get into the house. And it's like that's more like costumey. I really liked Death on the Mississippi.
See, I don't like Death on the Mississippi.
Really?
It's one of my least favorite.
That's the one where I
because there's
stopped.
so many targets.
Yeah, there's a lot to do.
Dude,
on
that
it.
mission was.
But that's one why I liked it
Fucking
because it's like
crazy.
challenging. It's tough. You have to do a lot.
Opera House is great.
I also like what's the one in the rehab?
was a good
Yeah,
one.
the one at the rehab
I
clinic.
really like that one. That one's fun.
What's it called? I mean, there's some great ones like Till Death Do Us Part, which is the hillbilly wedding. But the Heaven and Hell Club is kind of cool.
Oh, that one's good.
I mean, there's just
I really
there's a ton of great
want
ones.
this new Hitman to be
The casino's
one.
good.
I want this new Hitman to be the game that everyone loves that I end up falling in love with.
Speaking of new Hitman,
I want it to be
Gonzo asks, "Have any of you watched Hitman Agent 47? I've heard it's a good movie."
God,
I've heard.
I've not even watched
He
the
is
original.
trolling.
Yeah, he is.
He is trolling because
I
that
think
movie.
I think right now it's like at a 9%.
it's lower than Pixels.
7.
It's lower
7%.
than Fantastic Four, I think.
Jesus,
Yeah.
that's pretty low.
That's terrible.
Oh my God! You know, so I went to visit my parents, and my older brother also came to visit, and I was talking to his daughter, my niece, and I was saying, "Have you seen any good movies lately?" I'm like, "Yeah, me and Dad, we went to a double feature drive-in of Pixels and Fantastic Four.
Oh my God,
It was a bad night.
that's horrible.
It was a bad night.
That's horrible.
yeah, yeah.
Oh my
And you
God.
know what?
Could you imagine the people
Pixels-
who didn't know
They
going
made
in?
Pixels seem really good.
Yeah, I was gonna say, could you imagine the people who didn't know going in and like watch Pixels and like, I'm sure Fantastic Four will be better, and it's even worse.
Yep.
It sucks because the actor who plays Agent 47 in that movie, he's on Homeland. He's really good in that show. He's a good actor.
Boo.
What?
I don't know.
Anyway,
He's a really good actor. It's
final
just a
question
shame.
for the evening from Landon M. What game have you heard about recently, i.e., from this year or the past year, few E3s or Game Cons, etc., that you are most excited for and why?
This is the quintessential question. It's just this is
The one.
Oh.
basically what's our most hyped game right now.
I don't know. I'm really excited for a lot of things.
So I
but-
almost want to exclude
Okay.
Phantom Pain.
Okay.
Because we're all fucking hyped for that shit.
Okay.
And it's
to be
coming out in a
honest,
week.
It wouldn't be my most hyped, but I am hyped for it.
But the game I'm most hyped for, if you'd let me finish, Nolan, thank you, is.
I mean, maybe if I had to choose one. I'm kidding.
Never mind. Never mind.
Crispy.
Go ahead, Crispy.
Crispy, just fucking say it.
You guys already know the answer.
No Man's Sky.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
That's not coming out.
It's
What? What? That game's not happening.
Wait, the question is 2015, right?
no, it's just in general. What's coming out? What have you heard of recently?
I'm really
Uh,
excited about
that you're
No Man's
excited
Sky.
Silent Hills. Oh, I'm sorry. Fuck my life. I'd probably have to go with Fallout 4. That game is. I'm pretty fucking insanely excited for that game.
I mean, I guess in the near future, Metal Gear, but also like XCOM.
I was gonna say Dragon's Dogma Online.
Dude,
If that-
you're spoiling my fuck you.
What?
Because I saw the launch trailer today. It came out in Japan.
What?
Oh.
Is it good?
I don't know. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Why can't we? Can we play it?
No.
No.
You have
Is
to
that-
be a resident of Japan.
Is that like official?
Really? Are they gonna like
it's
check
never?
might
your
be a
fucking
loophole.
birth certificate or something?
Is it official that it's not coming out here though?
No.
Yeah.
But they've definitely not said anything.
God damn it.
All right.
All right.
Bastards.
I think Hellblade could be cool.
Yeah, maybe.
Those bastards.
I mean,
Next.
yeah, XCOM 2, obviously. No, that's the final question for the night.
Next.
So that means we're moving on to everyone's favorite part of the show. It's Chatter of the Week.
By the way, as a quick reminder, if you are a patron, you can leave questions for us every week. I post it on Sunday night. So anytime between Sunday night and Tuesday on the activity feed, you can leave us questions, and we'll answer them. Just like we just did.
Just like that.
Just like that.
As part of the show, we pit two chatters against each other in an all-out brawl.
Of
Nothing.
Okay.
It's like a fist fight.
fist
It's a
fight.
fist fight.
Fight to the death.
Yeah. Our first chatter this week is Eric Reaver Raziel.
Hey, he was just in chat.
Yep, I emailed him earlier today to let him know he was going to be on this.
He bailed a while ago to go to bed, I think.
What?
What a
Or
punk
maybe.
bitch.
I could be
What
wrong.
a dick.
Or unless there's two people with Raziel in their name.
He's from Port Hope, Michigan. He's only like an hour ahead of us. Wait, hour, right? Michigan?
Yeah.
How do time zones work?
1 hour.
Yeah.
It's always 1 hour.
Always? So like California's 1 hour
Nope,
ahead of
2
us?
hours.
Japan's 1 hour ahead of us.
Yeah.
England's 1 hour
Guys.
behind us.
All right.
Dogma's region free? Dragon's Dogma Online?
All right, moving on. Eric's or Raziel's shameful secret. I have logged in more hours of Call of Duty than any other game that I have owned or played, and I have played from Call of Duty 4 to Ghosts for both trophies and multiplayer. The amount of time I've spent into the series is about 5 to 7 months, maybe more.
Sorry. So sorry.
He likes the duty.
You're the guy that likes Call of Duty.
But I would never play it for 7 months. Like, he's talking about, like, if you added up all of his time up to 7 months. That reminds me of when David's roommate a long time ago had an addiction to Final Fantasy 11, and his in-game clock reached, I think, 6 months of game time, and he had on the year anniversary of when he bought the game.
Jesus Christ.
How the fuck is that?
That
It
is
was
not possible.
It was like
He had to have left the game on.
He left it on sometimes, like overnight and shit.
Sure.
Still not possible.
But still, he played it. Like, I never went over to his house and saw him not playing Final Fantasy 11.
No.
He ended up throwing his PS2 out.
No.
Oh my god.
No.
Yeah. I mean, he left it on a lot.
You're
but
supposed
still,
to
it
be
doesn't
like-
matter.
Yeah.
He had a problem, and he ended up throwing his PS2 away because he was addicted to it.
You're supposed to be like asleep for a third of that.
Yeah.
Like,
And he probably was.
All right.
Probably was.
Moving on. Greatest gaming achievement, Resident Evil, the director's cut version, now supports DualShock.
does.
Originally playing the game on my cousin's PS2 at 9 years old, but the first encounter scene scared me so bad that I shut off the console. 4 years later, I beat the game with Jill, just one more hit from dying, except I didn't save Chris, but I did kill a zombie with a knife.
nice.
Cool. He killed a zombie with a knife?
That's
all
hard to
that
do in
matters.
those early Resident Evils.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
all that
It
matters.
ain't easy. That's a good game, though. That game holds up amazingly well. Played that last year.
Raziel?
Raziel?
Top 5 games of all time. Number 5, Time
Splitters 2.
Ooh, that's a good guess.
Time
I'm gonna go
Crisis.
for that.
3.
Time Splitters, Future Perfect.
Oh, Future Perfect.
Number 4 game of all time is Final Fantasy.
Oh, God.
11.
I'm going to go
11.
9.
10.
Fuck.
Jesus.
Number 3 game of all time is Soul.
Soul Reaver.
Caliber 2.
Wait.
Soul Reaver. I'm going to go. Yeah,
But
it's
he
fucking.
would
Yeah.
say
His
Legacy
name
of
is
Kain.
Raziel.
Yeah, his name's Raziel.
It's Soul Reaver 2. No, Soul Reaver 1. Obviously.
Soul Reaver.
Legacy
2.
of Kain. Really? Isn't that the one that you said wasn't. You played recently? Is that as good? I don't
You
know.
have to pay attention. The people who love the story love Soul Reaver 2 because it has it the most.
Oh, I need to turn my ears on next time you talk.
Yep. As number 2 game of all time is Castlevania.
Dawn of
Symphony of
Sorrow.
the Night?
Dawn of Sorrow.
Lord of Shadows 2.
Symphony of the Night.
Sure.
He says, I've actually written poetry about this game for 8th grade English.
Boom. He got you on that one, Brad. Did you write poetry about your game?
Yes.
No, you didn't.
Brad
That's
wrote,
a lie.
Stop
Brad-
fucking lying.
Brad wrote poetry for Castlevania on a sock, and then he jerked off into the sock.
Yep.
He wrote a sonnet.
Beat that. I did.
His number 1 game of all time is Resident.
Evil 1 Director's Cut.
Resident.
Resident Evil 2.
All right.
I got nothing.
Brad, Resident Evil
4.
1. Compared to 2 or 3, I found 1 more difficult because nearly every room in the game was claustrophobic
How does he feel
in
about
size for
remake?
survival, especially when hunters were out.
I would.
What about
I am
remake?
really curious if you played the remake though.
Surely he has. Who would not play an amazing remake to their favorite game of all time?
He says, Nick, I've seen your Birds of Steel video. How did you mess up the life to death puzzle?
Birds of Steel video.
I don't know what that means.
He does, though.
Oh, he's talking about the puzzle in the hallway with the birds.
I guess.
I don't remember. I don't fucking
What a
know.
doof.
I read the clue and I misinterpreted it, and then I proceeded through the puzzle under the wrong
Moving
assumption.
on.
What do you want me to say?
This week,
What do you want me to say?
Raziel is up against Martin H. Drummerman 55
Hey,
in
Drummer
chat.
Man.
From London.
He's from London. He's
From the UK.
yeah, he's the drummer in that
the U of
metal band.
K.
He sent me a shirt. He wins.
Shameful secret. I have a nasty habit of getting to the very end of a game and then not finishing it. I don't know
Welcome to
why
my
this
world.
happens, but it does. Some of these include Alan Wake, Bioshock Infinite, Cave Story, Mark of the Ninja, Valkyria Chronicles, Dust and Elysian Tale, Batman Arkham Asylum, Borderlands, Portal, Dead Space, and a whole bunch
Wait,
more.
That
half
is a-
of those are like Portal's like a 3-hour game for fuck's sake. Mm-hmm. Like,
And the ending is the
that
best
makes
part.
that particularly shameful.
yeah, like that's terrible.
His greatest gaming achievement. At one point in time, I held the #1 score in the world for Geometry Wars 2 Pacifism Mode. I got around
That shit was
1.4
hard.
billion points. Needless to say, I was dethroned in a matter of days and was never able to catch up.
But you
Still
can't
up there
finish
as one of the greatest feelings ever.
But he can't finish Portal. Like, come on.
Fail.
He probably spends all his time playing Geometry Wars.
Jesus.
Which, yeah, getting high in that game is hard.
Oh.
Getting high and playing that game isn't, but I wouldn't know though. Top rankings of all time, number 5.
Nice save.
The Elder Scrolls.
Morrowind.
Skyrim.
Oblivion.
4, Oblivion. Number 4, Metal Gear.
Solid 3.
Solid 1.
Solid 3, Snake Eater.
Yeah.
Number 3, The Legend of Zelda.
Ocarina of Time.
A Link to the Past.
Majora's Mask.
Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
Number 2 game of all time is Counter.
Strike.
1.6.
I'm gonna go with Counter-Strike, yeah. So.
Counter-Strike Global Offensive.
Yes!
I've sucked nearly 2,000 hours into both CSS and CSGO together. This game is fucking amazing. His #1 game of all time is Final Fantasy.
9. It's gotta be 9.
Tactics.
Why does it have to be?
It
nine?
better be 9. If it's 9, he wins.
10.
For me. If it's
Final
9
Fantasy 9.
Yes! Sorry.
He says it's the first Final Fantasy game I played. It was the game that got me into JRPGs. And I have the theory that anyone's favorite Final Fantasy is most of the time the first one they played.
Yeah.
Like 9 times out
Not
of 10.
necessarily always true.
That's why I said 9 times out of 10.
Maybe more like 7 times out of 10.
Maybe more
Definitely-
like Final Fantasy 8 times out of 10.
Definitely didn't play Tactics first.
He says, sorry for the generic list. I'm sure the other chatter for the week will be way better than mine.
Don't worry, Martin. Your shameful secret
Love the
completely
show.
overshadowed your boring list.
I'm
Just kidding, it
voting
wasn't
for
boring.
Raziel. I think his list had a little more texture to it.
You
And
fucking hipster.
I'm voting.
and the shameful secret of this other... Who doesn't finish Portal? What the fuck?
Yeah, that's kind of fun.
Hey,
Like, the last part of Portal is the best part of... Is what makes Portal
that's
Portal.
what made that
Like,
game.
oh, this is a really clever puzzle game. She's
Oh
making some
my
funny
God.
jokes. Oh, I'm done.
So you're saying it. So are we voting on things differently here? Because he has a
Yeah.
terrible shameful secret. So that's but I'm gonna vote for Drummer Man.
Okay.
That's a terrible
I'm
shameful secret.
gonna vote for the other guy because Nick's just voting for the guy who gave him a fucking free T-shirt.
He did,
And
he,
that's
Final
called
Fantasy
didn't bribe.
he
collusion.
did give me a shirt.
That's a bribe.
And
he
you
is-
loves Final Fantasy 9. Is this just you? Did you buy yourself a shirt at the Old Navy and this is you?
At the,
Busted.
the place where you get shirts.
All right, I'm also giving it to Raziel.
Raziel.
Raziel?
Fuck all
Play
of
a
you.
slower game.
Sorry, drummer.
Hey, I told you
Congratulations.
because
Gotta
if he
keep it
chose
clean.
9,
You were this week's chatter of the week. Yay!
Yay!
You win.
No, that's not me because I have not played more than like an hour of Counter-Strike in my life.
Contusion.
If you would like to be Chatter of the Week, all you have to do is go on to 4playernetwork.com. There's a button on the right side, a little ways down. It says Chatter of the Week. You click on that. It takes you to another page. There'll be some boxes. In those boxes, you type like your name and other shit, and then in English, and then you submit it, and you could be Chatter of the Week.
You could be, which means nothing, but it could be, and that's cool.
Yeah.
All right.
It is cool.
So we need to wrap up with the 4-player minute so we can go play Until Dawn.
Yeah.
Brad's going to start us off.
Yes, I am.
Go. Hype, sweat, fuck you, and thank you of the week.
Well, instead, I'm going to do a bunch of hypes because I'm feeling
You do
positive.
a bunch of hypes every goddamn week.
Well, sometimes do a bunch of fucks.
Not that often.
Motherfucker.
Fine, I'll start with a fuck you. Fuck you, Capcom. Why are we not playing Dragon's Dogma Online? Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
Fuck everyone who didn't buy Dragon's Dogma.
Also, I'm hyped for Lara Croft Go, which comes out later this week. I'm hyped for Satellite Rain, which comes out later this week. I'm hyped for Mario Maker, which comes out next month, and it looks great. I saw that level that's like Metroid, and I think this is going to be something special. And I'm hyped for Metal Gear like you wouldn't believe. But I have to work that day. Damn it.
All right. Wow, Brad, I think actually did it for under a minute for the first time ever.
And I'm hyped to play Until Dawn right after this podcast.
Shut your
in about
face.
Half an hour.
My 4-player minute starts now. I'm going to follow suit with Brad because I am really fucking hyped for some shit. Metal Gear.
This is the hype minute.
You can't understand how excited. Like, it just. Like, I'm watching the trailers and I want to fucking play it. I'm excited for that game. Lara Croft Go, I am very excited for. I will probably be broadcasting that at some point. Maybe even this week. There's a couple of time slots I'll be broadcasting since the guys are going to be in Seattle. So I might jump on real quick and play. I mean, it's a pretty quick game to play. You can play a level or two here. I'll be playing that. I'm also hyped for a community night we're having this weekend, in which we will be playing The Last of Us Factions, probably for one of the last times. Just
Why
because.
do you guys keep saying
When are we going to play it again?
I don't know.
Maybe next
In a
year when
year?
this all
Yeah,
blows
that's
over.
what I'm saying.
Like-
It's going to be a really long time from now.
Okay.
And what if Metal Gear Online ends up being amazing?
It will be, and then Capcom will cap it off.
You mean
I mean,
Capcom.
Konami will cap it off.
Capcom will
Yeah.
swoop
6 months
in.
from now, and it won't be a thing anymore.
Okay.
So don't worry about it.
That was 1, 2, 3. And then I am also hyped for... Nope, scratch that. Fuck you to Square Enix for this shitty triple triad game.
Yeah,
Go fuck yourselves.
Go fuck yourselves.
That's it.
Crispy.
Okay, so my hype. Actually, I've got two hypes because I have no thank this week. My hype this week is for Metal Gear
ungrateful
Solid
bastard.
5 because fuck yeah, right?
Dude, fuck yeah.
right?
Dude, I read online somewhere that somebody played the game for like 30 hours, like one of the press guys,
Yeah.
and they hadn't even gotten to the forward operating bases yet.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, that's fucking crazy.
All the previews and all.
They hadn't
the-
even gotten Diamond Dog yet.
Yeah. Oh my god. It's
30
ridiculous.
hours in.
Dude. Oh.
I hope.
Okay. We're.
This is gonna be another Witcher 3 for me.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
No, it's
No, I think I'm not gonna finish it.
Probably not.
Finish it.
My thank you hype for the week goes to No Man's Sky. My sweat.
Why are you thanking No Man's Sky?
It's a thank you hype. It's a thank you for getting me hyped, kind of thing.
Okay.
My sweat for this week actually goes to D&D players, because as I was looking for a news article to talk about this week, I came across one on Polygon that talks. Apparently, they were talking to Mike Mearls, who's like one of the lead designers of 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons, and he was just talking about how much he loves Destiny and how he's like starting to take cues from Destiny
What?
and think about how to implement them into Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons
And there
and
were
Dragons is dead.
There were three. No, it's not. There were three specific things that he mentions, and the first one is kind of
Wizards from
funny.
the moon?
The first thing's kind of funny because he's saying, sitting here playing Destiny, I love it, but like I'm always thinking about what could be better about it. So basically,
Everything?
he's kind of saying because the game's not that great, he's thinking about how would I make this game better, and then he's doing that in Dungeons and Dragons. But the two things he says that Destiny does well are their fucking world building, which oh my god, god. The guy who is the lead designer on Dungeons and Dragons is saying that Destiny did a good job of world building? Are you fucking kidding me? That is... Hit the fucking button, man. Just end the world. That is crazy to me. That is crazy to me.
What if I just ended the podcast right there?
Oh my god. And then the other one was something about fucking exotics. Like, he loves the exotic weapons in Destiny, and he wants to come up with shit like that for Dungeons & Dragons, which it doesn't matter. But the guy whose job it is to make Dungeons & Dragons looked at Destiny and said, yeah, that's good world building. What?
What is the world?
What is even happening anymore?
What is the world?
What is even happening anymore? Anyway, I don't know.
And fuck you to Sega for releasing Yakuza 5 maybe on the same day as Metal Gear.
Oh my god.
All right, I'm gonna follow suit and also do 4 hypes because I'm gonna just jump on the bandwagon because fuck it. Let's see. I'm excited to play more Until Dawn. I'm really liking that game, and I'm very eager to see where it goes from there. I'm also very excited for Soma. I've been playing a lot of frictional games. I played Amnesia: The Dark Descent. I played some Penumbra, Black Plague, and I'm in the mood.
The Rapture game.
I didn't, dude. The game is too boring to like want me to get me to
Ever
go
play.
back. It's just like there's so like, no.
man.
Just look at all the other games that are out there right now. Why would I ever choose to go back?
Because you have to finish it and tell us if it's any
Because you're
good.
the dude that loves the story more than maybe
yeah,
all
but
of us.
the game still has to be fun. I'm sorry. After thinking about it for so long, I just came to the conclusion that my fuck you of the week goes to the fucking slow ass walking in that game. I'm sorry. That they say that was intentional, and it probably was, but like, why? It's unnecessarily slow, and it completely killed the experience for me. I've pretty much decided to not go back to that game. My other hype is going to be for Mad Max, because that does come out the same day as Metal Gear. And while I'm going to be a good Samaritan, I'm going to make sure good Samaritan is not the right word. I'm going to be a good human being and play Metal Gear first. I'm also secretly very excited to play Mad Max.
Oh, I am too.
But
I am too. I hope it's good.
my other hype is going to go to fucking...
No Man's
Twisted Metal. It's free on PlayStation Plus next month. Everyone's going to download it because it's free, and we'll all be able to participate in community nights now that everybody has a copy of Twisted Metal. Make sure you download it.
Oh, Crispy's reminding me right now. Star Wars Battlefront.
Woo!
Oh, I'm sorry.
Wait, so this reminds you of Star Wars Battlefront? Because guess what? There's no fucking space in that game.
You can still fly. We do it.
I can still fly in atmosphere. I'm gonna get in my spaceship and fly at about 20 feet off the ground. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do, Brad. Okay.
How many crafts have you flown
Go
in real life?
Fuck yourself.
Read
Brad.
a book, because I hear it's pretty fucking cool.
I hate you.
All right. Thank you so much
has
for
glasses.
listening.
He can't fly.
Thank you so much.
Oh, maybe you're just a little butthurt about in-atmosphere flight since you can't do it.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. This has been another episode of 4Player Podcast. Brad, thank you for being here.
No problem.
Nolan, thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
Crispy,
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, whatever.
Nick, thank you for being here. You beautiful man. It's time to go play Until Dawn. Thank you for listening. We'll be back. Also, reminder, if you're going to be in Seattle for the weekend, please hit us up. Let us know on Twitter, @4PlayerPodcast. Let us know if you're going to be there, because we're going to want to see some of you guys there. I know some of you aren't going this year, but if you're going to be there, let us know. And, of course, keep your eyes locked at 4playernetwork.com for some sweet deets on our community meetup and our mini Project M and all that cool stuff. Our patron tiers, which we're going to launch next week when we get back from PAX and all that stuff. So anyways,
We're collecting patron tears in a big jar
we're collecting them.
and bathing in them.
And then we're going to just pour them on our heads or something. Anyways, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I'm going to go ahead and end this podcast.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.